to live stream the meeting.
The meeting is now on YouTube. All right, cool.
I like that
I
they make
will-
it consensual.
I know, right?
I will have the link in a second.
All right. Well,
I am
go
getting
ahead.
my post ready. Oh,
You're good. Hello, everybody. It is us, the Not Ready for Quarantine Players, and we are here on a Saturday night with A League of Their Own, the script read. So I'm excited. We are raising money for a friend of ours in need, and we'll see if Danny wants to do more elaborating on that at intermission, maybe. But for now, this is the donate. We're going to cash app it to I Go by Danny. So please send your donations. Every little bit helps. And we appreciate. Why don't we go through the cast real quick before we get started? I'm just going to go in order of my squares. So first I've got Sean Watson as May Morbido, all the way May. Super excited.
Hello.
Also, we're playing like a ton of people, but that's the main person. So we've got Kelsey Davis as Doris Murphy.
hi.
Excited. Yes. We've got Luke Seckington as the jealous little sister Kit Keller.
Hello.
Hello. We've got Patrick McMahon as Jimmy Dugan. He's going to avoid the clap.
Maybe.
He goes, that's good advice.
That's really good.
We've got Daniel Cook as Walter Harvey of Harvey Chocolate. Yeah, he's kind of our villain of the story, but that's okay. We appreciate. We've got Danny Wilson, our brave and fearless narrator, which we appreciate more than you guys will know today. I'm super excited. We have Kenna. I always forget how to say the last name. Yelson?
Yeah.
All right. Kenna Yelson as Dottie Hinson, the Queen of Diamonds. So excited. And introducing to you all, we have Nick Benioff as Ira Lowenstein. So we're excited. And you know me, I'm Ginger Chase, and I'm Marla Hooch. What a hitter. So, like I said, if you're seeing this and you like what you see, send a donation to Cash App at I Go by Danny. And without much further ado, I say we just jump right in.
All right. We open on the inside of a bedroom in the day. A woman in her late 60s is packing for a trip. She packs quickly and neatly. Everything was stacked and ready before she even opened her suitcase. On a nightstand, we see a framed photo of a young couple in their 20s, circa World War II. The man is a GI. We hear a car horn honk from outside. The woman is about to close her suitcase when she hesitates. She goes to her closet to get something. It's an old catcher's mitt, not too badly worn. She looks at it, then puts it on. She pounds her fist into the pocket very professionally. We hear a door open off camera.
Ma?
The woman tosses the mitt into her suitcase.
You ready, Mom? We don't want to miss your plane.
The woman grabs her suitcase.
Ready.
We cut to the exterior of a highway in Oregon in 1990. Late model cars and highway signs show us that we are contemporary. If the 90s were contemporary, but we're going to go with that. When did this movie come out? Go to the inside of a car in the contemporary. The car's going down the freeway. It's a rural area in the Northwest. A 40-ish couple, Gary and Marla, are in the front. In the back is Dottie Hinson. She's dressed in a neat traveling dress. On either side of her are twin girls about 11 years old. They each have pocket rockers, which they play loudly. However, they're each playing a different song, creating a cacophony. Dottie is thoughtful.
Look, I don't care anymore how loud you play those things. I don't care how lousy the songs are, but could you at least, both of you, play the same song at the same time?
Make her switch.
I started mine first.
If you girls keep acting like this, Grandma's going to go away on that airplane and never come back, right, Grandma?
Well, I wouldn't say never.
Mom, do you think Aunt Kit will be there?
Couldn't say.
How's that kid?
Grandma's sister, you remember. She sent you those porcelain dolls of Kermit a few years ago.
Yay!
We angle on Dottie. She leans forward to look out the window. She sees an old baseball diamond near an old factory.
Oh, what you looking at, Grandma?
Gary, could we stop for a second?
Yeah, sure. What's the matter? You all right?
He pulls onto the shoulder. Dottie starts to get out.
Are you sick, Mom?
Ooh, she's gonna be sick.
I'm fine.
She gets out of the car and stands there staring at the field. The factory behind the field is old and weathered. Painted on it in faded lettering is Lukasz Dairy.
Grandma, what you looking at?
She continues to stare. We cut to newsreel footage from the early 1940s. With accompanying music, very early 40s, newsreel, sporty feel. We see some of the great baseball stars of the era. Williams, Musial, DiMaggio, Greenberg, Feller, I Know Sports, taking draft physicals, being inducted into the service, arriving at basic training bases, or wearing military uniforms. There's an accompanying narration, also very much in the style of the day.
Baseball pitches in for the war effort. Trading bats for bullets, Yankee star Joe DiMaggio promises to give those Nazis a jolt. Boston's splendid splinter Ted Williams will put his keen batting eye behind a bomb sight. Baseball's biggest stars say, "Look out, Mr. Hitler, the Yanks are coming." Not to mention the Cardinals, Red Sox, and Tigers. They won't come back till it's over there. Wrong war.
Music ends with a flourish. We cut to the inside of a conference room, still in the 40s. 8 middle-aged businessmen are seated around a conference table. We open on one of the men, Ray Foster. Ray is upset.
They're killing us. They're taking all the best players. I've got nothing left but 4Fs and old men and teenagers. It's a mockery. It's a joke.
Ray, we're all doing the same thing.
I say we all go to Washington, see Roosevelt, and tell him he can't have any more players. Let him take football players. They're bigger. They'll fight better.
You know, Ray, if your father hadn't died, right now we'd be having an intelligent conversation. Rake, we're lucky he's leaving us to F the 4Fs. If we don't start winning the war, the government's going to shut us down completely. This could be baseball's last season, boys. Then what do we do?
There's silence, except for the sound of a baseball being played with on the big oak table. We angle to Walter Harvey. He's a baseball team owner and a candy bar magnate. He's idly bouncing a baseball on the table. He looks up as if suddenly aware of the others.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I interrupt your crying?
It's easy for you to talk. How the hell are we supposed to make a living? We don't have big candy bar companies like you.
Not big. The biggest.
Big. So that's great. You just don't give a damn.
That's not true, Joe. I care about baseball as much as anyone at this table. That's why I've come up with an idea that might get us through this.
He pauses for drama.
Yeah? What's your idea?
Girls.
There's a brief silence.
Well, okay, but then it's back to business.
I'm talking about a business. Girls baseball.
What are you drinking?
Oh, bourbon. Girls don't get drafted, Ray. Also, people like looking at girls, I assume. Normal people, Ray, not you.
Yeah, but I mean, girls don't play baseball.
Girls play softball, at least the lesbians do. Town leagues, factory leagues.
Softball's not baseball. This is not a baseball.
They can switch. This year, while we still have real baseball, we put the girls in some more minor league towns. Then next year, if the government shuts us down, we move the girls into the big parks and we stay in business till we kick Hitler's flabby ass. Don't know why I know anything about Hitler's ass.
There's a pause, arguably where everyone else is wondering.
No one will buy it.
They'll buy it because I'll sell it. Why are Harvey bars the #1 candy in America?
There's a pause.
The nuts?
Harvey looks at him with a surprise nutcake.
Because we were the first candy to advertise, to sell, to push. Not the product, it's the promotion. Not nuts, although sometimes it's nuts, it's noise. This is Ira Lowenstein.
We angle on Ira, a pleasant man in his 30s.
He's the man who came up with velvety brown chocolate goodness. He's a promotional whiz. He's going to do for girls' baseball what he's done for Harvey bars. If you guys don't want in, I'll have to follow myself.
Another pause.
Well, if this guy can get the people to eat those shit bars you make, he can sell anything. I'm in.
We cut to a baseball diamond. It's the same diamond that Dottie was staring at before, next to the same factory. Only the lettering is now fresh and new. A girls' softball game is in progress. A sizable and enthusiastic crowd is in attendance. The players have uniforms with team names on them. One team is Lukash Dairy, the other is Stevens Lumber. The Dairy team is at that. A girl strikes out, swinging at a shoulder-high pitch. The crowd groans. It's obviously a Lukash crowd. Angle on the on-deck circle. Kit Keller gets up from a kneeling position and takes a step toward home plate. Dottie Hinson, her older sister, runs over from the dugout carrying a bat. Kit's about 17 and Dottie's in her early 20s. They're both very excited and nervous about the game.
Kit,
Kit stops.
look, sis, she's getting everybody out up high. Don't swing at that pitch.
I like the high ones.
You miss the high ones.
Kill that pitch.
That bat's too heavy. You'll never get it around.
I will.
Then try to hit it to the right. Only if she pitches you in the inside, you have to pull it.
I know.
If it is inside, just open up your stance a little, because with that heavy bat,
Dottie starts to demonstrate.
Why don't you come up there with me and we can both put our hands on the bat?
Batter up!
Kit goes off toward home plate, nervous.
no high ones.
I like the high ones.
Mule.
Nag.
Dottie kneels down on deck. We angle on home plate. Kit steps in. She chases a high fastball and misses, swinging late. She looks angry. She sets again for the pitch. Same pitch, same result. She steps out and looks over at Dottie. We angle onto the on-deck circle. Dottie holds her hand up high and shakes her head no. Back to home plate, Kit nods and steps back in. The pitcher zips a fastball right down the middle. Kit watches it go by for strike 3. Kit slams her bat down. She returns it to the dugout. She and Dottie don't look at each other as they pass. People are booing. Dottie steps up to the plate. Her look is very concentrated, intense. She begins stretching her lower lip and jaw.
You all right?
Yeah, why?
Play ball.
We hear people calling, "Come on, Dottie." The first pitch is a high fastball. She checks her swing.
Ball.
The pitcher looks disappointed. Another high fastball. Dottie doesn't budge.
Ball.
Now the pitcher is concerned. The next pitch is down the middle. Dottie uncoils and smashes the ball up the alley in the left center. 2 Lukash runners score and a celebration ensues on the field. Dottie, businesslike, walks off the field and accepts congratulations. The fans mingle with the players as they gather up their equipment. Fans good-naturedly josh Kit.
She really blew you away out there. Good thing your sister bailed you out.
Kit nods, angle in the stands. A hasty type is standing next to a man named Cappy. Cappy's big city. He's writing in a pad.
What you doing, mister?
This is called writing. It'll be around here in a few years. This girl, this Dottie, she always plays like this.
No, not always. Just when there's a game.
Listen, Orville.
Wayne.
Fine. Next time there's a stampede, try to get your head out of the way.
Cappy exits. We cut to the outside of a farm in the early morning. Dottie's in the yard feeding chickens. She's dressed for work. A radio is on the windowsill.
feeling as the Battle of Midway may prove to be a turning point in the war in the Pacific.
Dottie's mother, Molly, comes outside from the kitchen.
Finally, some good news.
Why don't they mention Europe? Bob's in Europe.
Well, honey, I don't think they're going to mention him by name.
Well, I hope not.
Can you stop at the market on your way home from work?
Sure, Ma.
Here's the shopping list, and here's the ration book.
Kit comes outside. She's got school books.
Bye.
Where are you going? It's too early for school. You have to milk the cows before you leave.
I traded days with Dottie.
Oh, gee. I forgot.
Dottie has to go to work, Kit. By rights, you should take all of her days.
I still got some time.
Dottie and Kit's dad, Bill, enters, not from the house, from outside. He's wiping grease off his hands, and he's dressed for farm work.
Kit, you gonna milk those cows, or you waiting for them to milk each other?
I'm gonna do it.
That's it. Get Dottie to do your work. Same old Kit.
Kit, disgusted, walks away following Dottie. We go with them. Dottie and Kit walk toward the barn. Kit is angry at her parents.
I'll give you a hand.
Thanks. Where are you going?
I was gonna meet Mitch Swaley before school.
Mitch Swaley? He's 4F.
Hey, that's all there is. We can't all be lucky enough to have married Private Bob, America's secret weapon. I'm sorry.
She points back to the house.
They
love you, you know.
Yeah, should have just had you and bought a dog.
Not a dog? You're a corker.
I'm just tired of being the other daughter.
The what?
You ever hear mom or dad introduce us to people? This is my daughter, Dottie. This is my other daughter, Kit. Or even better, this is Dottie, and this is Dottie's sister.
Mitch Swaley likes you.
Mitch Swaley's one step up from dating pigs.
They both laugh.
I swear you ought to be on the radio. The things you say.
Race ya?
Go.
They race to the barn. They both run very hard, but Dottie wins by an inch. Inside the barn, minutes later, each girl is milking her own cow.
How much you got?
More than you.
They both milk furiously.
Hey, hey,
Dottie looks over her shoulder.
Hey yourself.
doesn't that hurt them?
Doesn't seem to.
It burns the hell out of me.
He comes around so they can look at him while they're milking.
Who has more?
Hmm?
Who has more?
Oh, she does. Hey, I didn't come here to judge the milking contest, all right? All right, Jesus, it smells in here. I'm hoping it's the barn and not you.
Dottie squirts him in the eye with one of the udders.
You want something?
Yeah. How'd you like to go to Chicago, play some baseball?
Huh?
Nice retort. They're starting a girls' baseball league. Professional.
Professional baseball.
They'll pay you $75 a week.
They gasp.
I only make 30 at the dairy.
Well, then this would be more, wouldn't it? See, the thing is, you can not only play ball, but you're kind of a dolly. That's what we're looking for.
Hey, I'm married. My husband's overseas.
Relax. I'm talking looky, no touchy. It's just what we want, girls who are easy on the eyes.
I'm ready. I'm ready right now. Do I got to sign something?
I don't want you. I want her, the one who hit the ball. You can climb back under the cow.
Kit is shocked. Too shocked to get mad.
She's good. She's very good.
Yeah, I figured she kept missing the ball just to create a breeze.
No, she's a pitcher. She just didn't pitch yesterday because she pitched the day before.
Thank you for that extra special glimpse into her life. I want you I saw, you I like. What do you say? There's a train leaving for Chicago tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Dottie begins to stretch her jaw.
What is that?
Oh, it's just something I do whenever I get...
Well, stop it. Come on, what do you say? Are you in?
No thanks.
Dottie.
No, thanks. Hey, no skin off my ass. Only when I walk out of here, that's it. You'll never see this face again.
Thank you.
He starts out. Kit chasing her.
Wait, can't you just watch me pitch? Dottie, get your glove. I'll throw a few.
Nah. I know the goods when I see the goods. She's the goods.
Cappy points to Dottie. He turns to go and then stops. He has an idea.
I'll tell you what, though. If she comes, I'll take you too. If you stink, it'll only cost us a train ticket, huh?
Kit looks desperately at Dottie. There's a silent moment. We cut to the inside of the farmhouse bathroom where Dottie is washing her hands for dinner. Kit is nagging her in a loud whisper.
Look, let's just try it. If I don't make it, then we can both come home. And if I do, then after a while, you can go home and I'll stay. I just need you so they'll give me a chance.
We can't be professional baseball players.
The way she says those last three words makes the idea sound absurd.
Why not?
Hey, come on. You remember that girls semi-pro team from Portland that came out here a few months ago?
Oh, yeah.
Now look like Uncle Ted. Remember how everyone looked at those girls? You want everyone to look at us like that?
No, wait. The scout said he didn't want those girls. He wants dollies.
She grabs Dottie's face and side by side looks in the mirror.
We're dollies.
Dottie laughs.
Yeah, right. Ava Gardner and Rita Hayworth, that's us.
She waves derisively.
Come on, we'd have fun. You love to play ball, so why?
I don't love to play ball.
Then why do you play?
You know, the dairy gives me an afternoon off every week with pay, and with Bob gone, I need things to do. If he was still here, we'd have started a family of our own by now.
Dottie looks a little sad. Then
You'd be Aunt Kit.
I want to play baseball. I want to get out of here.
Well, I don't. Besides, what would Dad say?
Dinner.
Dottie exits. Kit is frustrated. Inside the kitchen, we see the four of them eating. There's no conversation. Bill clears his throat. Molly reacts instantly, dropping her fork.
Did you need anything?
Nope.
They go back to eating.
You have anything against Dottie going to Chicago to play baseball?
What?
Dottie cringes.
Kit!
A scout wants Dottie to play baseball in a professional women's league, and if she goes, I can go too. Do you have anything against it?
Both parents look confused. Dottie starts to speak, but decides to let her father respond first.
Dottie's a married woman now. She doesn't need my say-so.
All right, Dottie, let's go pack.
Catherine Agnes, I'm gonna whack you with a chicken cutlet.
You don't waste food in this house, young lady.
Dottie, we're good. We're really good.
At baseball?
Don't you want to know how good you really are?
Bill glares at Molly.
Kit, you're disturbing your father's dinner hour.
But Kit's all wound up now.
Look, Dad, let's say you were the best farmer in the county.
I'm not.
Well, let's say you were.
I'm not.
Let's say you were. And they were going to bring the best farmers from every county all across the country to one place, to see how good you were, to see if you really were the best.
I'm not.
But Dottie is, and maybe I am, and I want to know. And I think Dottie does too.
Angle in on Dottie. Kit has hit her where she feels it.
It's like my surprise nut cake. Sometimes I wonder, is it the best?
Pause.
It's not.
We cut to the exterior of a train station, where a train is in the station, being boarded and loaded with luggage. Inside the train, we see Cappy seated next to a man in a business suit. As the man talks, Cappy seems very interested in what he's saying.
Your basic broom and dustpan will soon be obsolete. Vacuum system is how America will clean from now on. In the Pacific Northwest, which is my territory, we've increased sales 106% in the last 12-month period. And this with a war on.
Cappy nods thoughtfully.
You know, if I had your job, I'd unalive myself.
He gets up.
Sit here. I'll see if I can dig up a pistol.
Cappy heads down the aisle. The train lurches forward, causing him to stagger slightly. He continues along, and then something catches his eye. Through Cappy's point of view, we see Dottie and Kit through the window, holding their suitcases and running for the train. Outside the train station, we see Dottie and Kit running and screaming at the train to wait. Inside the train,
I'll say one thing for them. They can run.
Cappy goes out of the car and reaches out for them. First, he grabs Dottie and hoists her up. Then he reaches for Kit, but now the train's moving pretty quickly. Kit lunges, and Cappy and Dottie grab her. Kit's suitcase opens. She's pulled onto the train as her belongings fall out along the tracks.
We figure we'll try it.
On the outside, we see the train pulling away in the distance. We cut to a farm area where we see the train speeding along, and then cut back to inside the train. Cappy is reading while Dottie and Kit look out the window.
What state are we in?
Confusion?
Cappy pulls out a cigar and looks at Dottie.
I smoke cigars, big cigars. If you don't like it, you can sit somewhere else.
How come you weren't drafted?
They kept me here to boost morale.
We cut to the exterior of a mountain area. The train continues along. Inside the dining car, we see Dottie and Kit eating. They both eat with gusto, farm appetite. They don't talk, they chew, they swallow, they reach for things. They butter rolls, but they don't talk. Kit smiles at someone off camera. We angle on two businessmen. They're giving Kit the eye and smiling at her. We angle back to Kit and Dottie, where Kit continues to smile at the two men. Dottie notices.
What are you doing?
Those guys are looking at me.
Don't look back.
All right, they have suits.
So did Dillinger.
Dottie gets up and goes down the car to where Cappy is playing in a poker game. Cappy's holding the deck.
What do you mean you're out of money? Dig through your pockets.
Mr. Capadino?
What's the matter, honey? Miss the cows?
You know, you're not nice.
Oh, that would hurt.
When do we get to Chicago?
Well, we got to make a stop first. Fort Collins, Colorado. There's another girl I got to take a look at.
He's bluffing.
She walks away. And Cappy reacts. We cut to the outside of a gymnasium. A large, old-fashioned gym / field house. It's raining. Inside, a baseball practice is in progress. We angle on the hitter. She's an 18-year-old girl named Marla. She's tomboyish. There's nothing feminine about her. She's not masculine, just no real sense of femininity. She's hitting pitched baseballs hard, one after another, every single one. We pull back to reveal that the pitcher and all the other players who are watching are college-age boys. We see the baseballs Marla is hitting rattle off walls, gym equipment, bleachers. Two older men between 40 and 50 are watching. One is a coach who looks unhappy. One is Dave. He's helping Marla by giving her body English on every swing. He watches her intensely. Once she glances over at Dave, he raises his left elbow. She nods and belts another one.
Is she gonna miss one? She's a girl, for Christ's sake.
He's good.
She's good. She's good.
What do you think, Charlie? Think we can take her with her to the tournament? She'd do a job for you.
Dave, I can't. She's a girl.
That's not her fault. We'll give her a haircut. We'll push her down on top. No one has to know.
The coach watches her belt a few more. He's tempted, but
Dave, she's a girl. If she were a boy, I'd be glad to take her.
I lost my spot. Sorry.
It should say, if she were a boy, do you think I'd be begging?
If she were a boy, you'd think I'd be begging some dipshit American Legion to take her to a regional tournament. I'd be in New York talking to the Yankees instead of living with my daughter in a gym.
Dave walks away.
Okay, Marla, now lefty.
The guy's all grown. She goes to the other side of the plate. She hits a ball hard. We follow the flight of the ball as it arcs across the gym. It brings us to Dottie, Kit, and Cappy, who are standing there with their luggage, all a little wet. Dottie drops her suitcase and catches the ball. All three are impressed by Marla's hitting. A few minutes later, we see Marla standing before Cappy. She's clearly ill at ease. She doesn't really like to be looked at. Her shoulders are up and her eyes are down.
She's your daughter?
Her mom's dead. It's just the two of us.
And a good-looking man like you couldn't remarry.
Cappy stares at Marla again.
We'll let you know. Let's go.
What's the matter?
Can't use her.
She's great. What's the problem?
You know, General Omar Bradley?
Yeah.
Well, there's too strong a resemblance.
You mean you ain't taking her because she ain't pretty?
Gee, you're fast. Let's go.
Dave approaches.
Mister, I know my girls ain't pretty to look at. But I like these girls. But that's my fault. I raised her like a boy. I didn't know no better. Don't make my little girl suffer because I messed up raising her, please.
Cappy is a little uncomfortable and struggling with himself.
Let's go.
All
He
three of
walks
us?
away.
All three of us?
Yeah, come on. We got a train to catch. You guys stink. To the male players.
We cut to the inside of an apartment. It's a tiny one, and it overlooks the gym. Marla comes out of the bathroom with her hair wet. It's combed boyishly, and Dave is packing her suitcase.
Almost forgot.
He gets her baseball glove. It's old and raggedy. Dave looks at it sorrowfully.
I wish you had a decent mitt.
I think maybe I better not go.
No, you can replace it. It'll be okay.
No, I mean, who's going to take care of you? Cook for you and help you take care of the gym.
Don't worry about that. You're going to play baseball.
I'm not going to know anybody.
Marla, nothing's ever going to happen here. You aren't going to know. You got to go where things happen.
I love you, Daddy.
She hugs him tight. He hugs her back. We cut to the train station where we see the train pulling out, leaving Dave on the platform. We see the train by night at the train station in Chicago. Cappy and the girls with their luggage walk through the station. They stare wide-eyed at their surroundings. They've never seen anything like this. The station is filled with servicemen and banners exhorting wartime spirit. The girls are in awe. 3 servicemen are on the platform with their duffel bags. 2 are with their girlfriends, and a sergeant comes by.
Last goodbye, boys. Let's go.
The sergeant moves on. The 2 guys with girls are kissed goodbye passionately. The third guy, about 18 and looking very scared and lost, gazes enviously. Kit suddenly drops her suitcase, dashes up to him, and kisses him passionately. Then she runs back to her group. The soldier, at first stunned, then smiles. His whole aspect has changed. Confidently, he hoists his duffel bag onto his shoulder and boards his train. Dottie looks at Kit in wonder. Kit smiles happily, and they all move on. We cut to the hotel lobby that night. Cappy and the girls enter. The lobby is enormous. These girls see women, fashionably dressed, made up, and smoking cigarettes. Kit especially is staring at them. 2 young men in suits come up from behind the fashionable girls and tap them on the shoulders. They turn around, recognize the men, kiss them, and then they all go out together, laughing and smiling as our girls watch. Cappy is checking them in. Cappy returns to them with a room key and a bellhop.
Okay, all set.
The bellhop grabs Marla's suitcase, but she hangs on.
Hey!
They both tug on it. That's what she said.
Hey, Jungle Woman, it's all right. She's the bellhop. He's on your side.
Reluctantly, she lets go.
Here's your key. Tryouts are tomorrow morning, Harvey Field. A bus will pick you up in the front of the hotel at 10. If you're not out there, they'll leave without you. It's been a slice of heaven. Goodbye.
Wait, you're leaving?
Dry those tears. Yeah, I'm just going to go home, grab a shave and a shower, Give the wife a little pickle tickle, and I'm out on the road. See ya.
Yeah, but
But what? Bus, front, 10 o'clock. That's it.
He turns to leave, but turns around back to them.
All right, look, let me tell you a story. When I was 18 years old, I wanted to get into baseball in the worst way. I had an uncle who knew a guy on the White Sox organization. I take the Charlie out to Comiskey Park before the game, and they let me go out on the field. I turn around, and there he is, Babe Ruth, baby Ruthie. I practically faint right there. Then he says to me, kid, my heart's pounding through my shirt. He says, kid, go get me a hot dog. Well, I'm Johnny on the spot. I jump over the railing, get him a dog, run back with it. Boom, he knocks it down. He says, give me another one. 2 hours I'm running back and forth in the heat, watching this guy sucking down dogs, wink, one after the other. All of a sudden, he starts to choke. The Babe. I jump up on his back and start kicking him between his shoulders. Ba-bop, ba-bop, ba-bop. Finally, this meat rocket, what? Meat rocket comes flying out of his face, and I climb off. See my point?
Everyone is bewildered.
no.
They were so grateful. I got a job in the scouting department. See?
What's that got to do with us?
You? This story's about me. Where do you come? Where do you come to be in my story? I just met you. 10 o'clock bus.
He starts walking away.
I say Babe Ruth from gagging on a wiener, and she wants to know what it's got to do with her. Crust on some people.
He shoves a guy who was in his way.
Look out.
He exits, leaving the girls alone, confused and speechless. We cut to the inside of a stadium tunnel. Dottie and Kit, unrecognizable in the gloomy darkness, clatter along the cement in their spikes. They reach the runway opening to the field and go up. We cut to the outside of the stadium. The girls emerge into the bright sunlight. The stadium towers up over them. They gape up at the grandstand. Girls are all over the field. They're all wearing their hometown uniforms. Dottie and Kit are in their dairy uniforms. A few of the girls are playing, but most are just standing around uncomfortably in many very small groups. A lot of girls are even completely by themselves. Dottie is stretching her jaw as she looks around.
You're doing it.
Dottie realizes and stops. Kit nudges Dottie and points to where May and Doris are playing catch. May is playing catch while smoking a butt. They're burning the ball at each other and constantly walking toward each other as they do, but still throwing just as hard. Finally, when they're just a few steps apart, Doris can't handle a throw. She grimaces. May laughs. She turns and sees the sisters.
What are you looking at?
Nothing.
Are all these girls going to be in the league?
You wish. We're going to have 4 teams, 16 girls on a team.
64 girls.
Yeah, what are you, a genius?
They got over 100 girls here, so some of you are going home.
What do you mean, some of us?
May smirks and fires the ball at them. Dottie snap catches it barehanded. May and Doris exchange a look of surprise.
Okay, some of them are going home.
We cut to the inside of a tea room. An awful, middle-aged biddy in a hat is seated at a table with a microphone. She's reading copy into the microphone.
Careers in higher education are leading to the masculinization of women with enormously dangerous consequences to the home, the children, in our country. When our boys come home from war, what kind of girls will they be coming home to? And now the most disgusting example of this sexual confusion, Mr. Walter Harvey of Harvey Balls is presenting us with women's baseball.
We cut back to the stadium. A full-scale formal tryout is in process. As we pan the field, we see girls sprinting and being timed by men with stopwatches. Girls working on sliding, fielding, throwing, hitting, pitching, all under male supervision. Dottie is in her catcher's gear with several other catchers lined up to throw. She's the best. In another area, Kid is pitching. She's fast but wild. She glances at the men nervously. One of them gives her a pointer regarding her follow-through. She follows the advice and does better. Over all this, we hear the biddy.
Right here in Chicago, young girls plucked from their families are gathered at Harvey Field to see which of them can be the most masculine. Mr. Harvey, like your candy bars, you are completely nuts.
We cut back to the outside of the field and angle on the dugout. A secretary is taping up sheets of paper to the dugout wall. It's very quiet. We angle onto the field where the girls are all gathered. There's a lot of tension.
Your names will be on one of these 5 lists: Rockford, South Bend, Kenosha, Racine, or Cut.
Angle on the girls growing more tense.
If your name's on the Cut list, please see Miss Johnson in the locker room. She'll arrange your transportation home.
We angle onto a very nervous Kit and a Dottie working her jaw.
All right. Find your names.
The girls surge forward into the dugout. Dottie holds back, acting cooler than the others, as if she's not that interested. Girls begin screaming, some in delight, some in anguish. There's much happy chatter and some moaning. Kit reaches the dugout wall. She scans the wall hungrily, shrieking and bolting out of the dugout, and then shrieks and bolts out of the dugout. She races to Dottie. She jumps playfully on her, knocking her down. They're both on the ground with Kit sitting on top of her.
I'm a peach.
You're a what?
A Rockford peach. I made it. I can stay.
Kit,
What?
you're sitting on my tits.
Sorry.
She helps her up.
If my name wasn't up there, I was going to do something drastic.
Kit,
Kit stops.
did
What?
you notice if I
Oh, I got so excited.
Kit runs back to the dugout where the crowd is starting to thin out. She searches the wall. She looks surprised. She looks back at Dottie, an amazed look on her face. Dottie goes pale. She's stunned. She's really feeling bad.
Oh, wait, I keep forgetting. I'm looking for Dottie Keller, and it's Dorothy Henson now. There you are. Rockford, with me.
Dottie exhales and then reassumes her cool.
Oh good. That'll be nice. To go back.
Dottie turns away from Kit and shows how relieved she is. We cut back to the outside of the field and angle on the girls. They're gathered in 4 groups in front of the dugout and very excited. One girl, Shirley, stands alone in the dugout.
Okay, come on, settle down, settle down. We've got a lot to do. Okay, men. Ladies. Too many. Congratulations. You're the first.
He sees Shirley.
Honey, are you supposed to be here or are you on the cut list?
Shirley looks ready to cry.
Look, I'm sorry, but if you're on the cut list, you have to leave the field. We'll arrange for your transportation home.
She doesn't move.
Were you cut?
I don't know.
Just look on the wall.
Shirley stares at the board helplessly. One of the players, Ellen Sue Gottlander, hurries over to Shirley.
Can you read, honey?
Shirley, embarrassed, shakes her head no.
What's your name?
Shirley Baker.
Ellen Sue looks at the board.
This is you. You're with us. You're a Rockford peach.
She almost cries with relief, and she looks at Charlie for confirmation.
Join your team.
She runs to the Rockford team where we see, among others, Dottie, Marla, May, Doris, and Kit.
As I was saying, congratulations. You are the first members of the All-American Girls Baseball League.
The girls cheer and applaud.
I'm Charlie Collins. I used to play third base for Detroit.
The girls applaud again.
I wasn't that good. Settle down. I'll be managing the Racine team for when the season starts. After practice today, you all have to get fitted for uniforms, and this is what they're going to look like.
A pretty young lady emerges from the dugout. Proudly and professionally, she minces about in a very un-baseball way, showing it off. The players react in dismay. There's a babble of objections. The uniform is very girlish, including a very short skirt.
That's not a baseball uniform.
What are we? Ball players or ballerinas?
Well, I can't play in that.
Others agree more quietly. Others just look nervous. Ira emerges from the dugout. He's very calm but very firm.
If you can't play ball in that, you can't play ball with us. Right now, there are 38 girls getting train tickets home who'll play in a bathing suit if I ask them.
This quiets everyone down.
There's no pockets for my cigarettes.
Some laughter.
There's also no smoking, and no drinking, and no surprise nut cake.
A buzz goes through the girls. This is very shocking information. But it quiets quickly. May starts to leave, but Doris pulls her back down.
All your social engagements will be cleared through your team chaperones.
The girls look at each other silently.
What's a chaperones?
Another girl shrugs.
Plus, each of you will have regular classes at Charm and Beauty School. Every girl in this league will be a lady.
We cut to newsreel footage of the early 1940s. Lively, sporty music. A title card? Diamond Gals. Newsreel footage taken at Harvey Field. We see girls pour out of the dugout runway onto the field one by one. They all look happy, but a little camera conscious.
They find them everywhere, north, east, south, and west, and even Canada. Players for the new All-American Girls Baseball League.
Shots of the girls exercising and playing catch.
Rosie isn't just riveting anymore, although some of these girls are pretty riveting.
A shot of a player using a compact to powder her nose.
After all, legging out a triple is no reason to let your nose get shiny. Betty Grable has nothing on these gals. This is Alice Henry.
Close up on Alice Henry in uniform. She's kind of cute.
She has not only been a member of several championship amateur leagues, she's also an accomplished coffee maker.
Alice is seen pouring coffee for a male fan in the stands.
Betty Horn enjoys cooking spaghetti and knitting.
A close-up of Betty in uniform, who holds up a sweater. She has a big, stiff smile.
Ellen Sue Gotlander is a former Miss Georgia.
Close-up of Ellen Sue. She winks.
Yeah, well, some of the girls, like pretty Dottie Henson, even have husbands.
A close-up of Dottie. She looks a little embarrassed.
And there's her kid sister, Kit.
A close-up of Kit, who is not embarrassed at all.
She's the cutest one. Enough concentrated oomph for a whole carload of Hollywood starlets. And how about Marla Hooch?
A shot of Marla, but unlike the other girls, she's set way back from the camera, so we can barely see her.
What a hitter!
The music rises to a finish.
What a leap! But girls playing baseball?
We see a snappy double play over a sliding runner.
Well, I'm convinced.
Music ends with a flourish. We cut to inside Harvey's office and open on Jimmy Dugan. He's about 40 and a little out of shape.
Still drinking, Jimmy?
No, sir. Not a bit.
You seeing the error of your ways?
No, sir. I just can't afford it.
He starts to laugh, then realizes this was not an appropriate joke for the situation and stops.
I've got your delicious surprise nut cake stuck in my throat.
I'm thinking of giving you another managing job.
Mr. Harvey, I'll do much better this time.
You kind of let me down in that San Antonio job.
I realize that, sir. I had no right to sell off that team's equipment, and I freely admit that.
I want you to manage one of the new girls' teams.
Jimmy is stunned and looks stricken.
What? You?
You're still a name. People remember you. You step out of the dugout before each game, wave your little hat in the air, give the people a thrill.
I lost my spot. I'm sorry.
We're gonna write it.
There we go.
What the heck?
Why don't we get an organ grinders and I can also dance?
That's up to you. If your knees are up to it.
Mr. Harvey, I hit 487 home runs for your club. I'm third on the all-time list. Doesn't that count for anything?
You bet. That's why you're getting this job. Take it or leave it.
We cut to the inside of a charm school in a modeling studio. A matronly female instructor is walking in a very affected, ultra ladylike way. She's waving her arms swan-like.
Gracefully and grandly. Gracefully and grandly.
A line of about 10 girl ball players are following her. It's semi-pitiful. They're trying, but who walks like this? We cut to outside the ballpark, where a shortstop dives into the hole to spear a line drive, hitting the ground hard. We cut back to charm school, where the girls are shakily attempting to walk with books on their heads. It's very hard.
Posture, ladies. Posture.
We cut to back to outside the ballpark, where a girl makes a headfirst belly flop slide into third base. Back at charm school, 6 girls in a row are in unison, sitting and crossing their legs ladylike.
Skirts down. A lady reveals nothing.
Outside the ballpark, a girl catches a fly ball and crashes into the fence, knocking herself to the ground. Her dress flies up. Back at charm school, an instructor is teaching the girls how to sip tea daintily.
Sit down. Don't slurp.
Back at the ballpark, a girl takes a drink from the dugout water fountain, sloshes it around her mouth, and spits it out onto the floor. In charm school, we see several girls standing lined up shoulder to shoulder. They all look uncomfortable. Mr. Maurice, a gay person, a flamboyant gay person, examines the girls one by one. A young woman follows him, taking notes.
The hair, soften, shorten. The eyebrows, thin and separate. There should be 2. Lipstick, the same one I used with Ava. Go. You're done. You're done. Lumber off.
Next in line is Ellen Sue Gotlander, the former Miss Georgia.
Oh yes, the former Miss Alabama.
Miss Georgia.
Oh yes, there's a big difference, not. Well, some of this look, apparently. Go. Goodbye. Go. Goodbye.
Next in line is Kit.
Very nice. Very nice. Farm girl, clean, healthy, very Teresa Wright, pride of the Yankees. Oh, you're sick, Lou. You're sick.
He moves on to Dottie.
Oh my. Mr. Maurice predicts that you will be a star. Love the bones.
I have a pointy nose.
Please. So does Greta Garbo. Does Greta Garbo call you at 5 in the morning? Please, Mr. Maurice, come over. Do something so I look like do something. I look like sweet as shit. I just want to let your hair grow and comb it down.
I can't. It'll get stuck in my mask.
This girl, they're making wear a mask? Can't you play any other position like short stuff?
Well, no,
All right. All right. This sports ball is doomed.
He moves on. Marla is next, and he stares at her.
What do you suggest?
A lot of night games.
He moves on to May.
Now you
She grabs him by the lapels.
are perfect.
May lets him go. We cut to the locker room and open on a close-up of a uniform shirt. It reads Rockford Peaches. Pull back to reveal that it's Dottie's shirt. There are about 16 girls in the room, all in Rockford uniforms. They're all anxiously waiting for something. One girl's running her fingernails over a bar of soap. May is applying lipstick.
Yeah, let me help.
She shoves May's hand so that the lipstick goes up her cheek. May stares at her coldly.
I like it.
It's almost game time. Where is he?
I can't wait to meet him. I was listening to the radio when he hit that home run off Hubble to win the pennant. I'm going to get him to sign my husband's baseball card.
She shows the card, and Helen reaches for it.
Careful. Anything happens to this card, George will come all the way back from the Pacific and kill me.
Marla is sitting on a stool, trance-like, and staring at her glove. Kit passes.
Your glove, Marla?
Marla looks up, and there are tears in her eyes.
My dad sent it.
It's beauty.
Must have cost him a week's pay.
Kit puts her arms around her. Alice is holding a coffee urn.
Coffee?
Suddenly, the locker room door smashes open. All heads turn. Jimmy is revealed in the doorway. He's got a little buzz on. He looks around the room with malice. The girls are unnerved. Slowly, deliberately, he crosses the room without speaking. They all just watch. He opens a door revealing a toilet. With his back to us and the girls, we see him undo his fly. He doesn't shut the door and just starts peeing. We hear it. It goes on and on. It's the world's longest pee. Call Guinness. The girls just watch and listen blankly. Finally, he's done. He flushes and zips up. He walks back toward the door through which he entered, and Betty steps up.
Mr. Dugan, would you sign my card?
Without changing stride or expression, he takes her card, tears it in half, and gives it back to her. Then he exits. There's a moment of silence.
Boy, that was some good peeing.
What do we do? He didn't give us a lineup.
All the girls begin to express their fear and concern.
We can't play without a lineup.
The girls, in a babble, begin to choose a lineup. They're in conflict, objecting to each other's proposals. Kit's in the middle of it, telling everyone who'll listen that she is to pitch. Someone asks, why shouldn't Shirley pitch? The various arguments are becoming heated. Dottie watches this, concerned.
Hey, come on. How hard can it be to make a lineup?
The noise stops. They all stare at her.
All right, Oregon, you do it.
Me?
Yeah, you.
Angle on Betty.
Maybe George won't notice this?
Angle on Dottie.
All right. May, center field. Lead off.
He's good.
Doris in the left. I'll catch. Marla, second base. Clean up. Ellen Sue at short. Evelyn at first. Betty in the right. Alice at third. And pitcher is...
Dottie looks at Shirley, then at Kit. Kit's about to burst.
Kit.
Kit smiles.
Simple signs. Bunt. Steal. Take.
They all stare at her.
Well, come on. Let's go.
With some confidence restored, the girls head out of the locker room. Dottie gets her catcher's gear. Alice and Evelyn pass.
How come Kit's pitched instead of Shirley?
Dottie's sister.
Evelyn nods as if to say, sure, that makes sense. Kit hears this. She stops smiling. Dottie comes by, all excited.
Did you see that? I made a lineup.
Swell.
They exit. We cut to the Rockford ballpark. There's a small crowd in the stands. In the front row is Ira. He looks around checking the house, and he is not delighted. With him is the woman from the charm school who led the gracefully and grandly walk. Jimmy steps out at the dugout and plays his part. He waves to the crowd. They cheer, and he's smiling broadly.
This is bullshit. I'd like each and every one of you to kiss my ass. Yeah, that's right. Kiss my big hairy ass. Yeah.
He waves again, then goes down into the dugout.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the first ever game of the All-America Girls Baseball League, your own Rockford Peaches.
The girls take the field. There's some applause, some laughter, some wolf whistling, but the general tone is one of amused contempt. In the dugout, Jimmy shakes his head in disgust. A guy in the stands rolls his bands up over his knees and begins mincing around.
Oh, look at me, look at me. I'm a ball player.
His buddies laugh.
Oh, better look out, I'll break a nail.
On the field, Alice takes a warm-up grounder at third base. She fires across the infield wide of first. The throw goes into the stands, hitting a fan in the chest. He moans and crumples to the ground.
It slipped.
Jimmy's impressed. Outside the ballpark later, we see Dottie on the deck flashing signals. May is up and she gets a single. The bases are loaded. Kit, Betty, and May are the runners. Dottie steps up. She belts the first pitch out of the park. When the ball clears the fence, all four girls do the gracefully and grandly walk through the bases. The girls on the bench crack up. The fans, though not in on the joke, enjoy it. The charm teacher beams with pride. Ira, next to her, hides a giggle. We see outside the ballpark that it's getting darker. Kit out on the mound is tired. She fires a pitch. The batter swings and misses, and Kit leaps in the air, ecstatic. The game's over. Dottie rushes out to her and hands her the game bowl. Kit is the happiest we've ever seen her. She hugs Dottie. The other peaches come by and give Kit a lot of nice game and way to Chuck, etc. Kit is loving it. The girls on the other team also congratulate each other, but more solemnly. The crowd applauds more respectfully than before. We see from the expressions on the fans' faces and from scattered bits of conversations that they thought the game was pretty good. We angle to the dugout. The girls gather up their gear and go. Jimmy is still sitting there. He's chewing tobacco, which he gets out of a small bag. Ira joins him in the dugout.
Nice piece of coaching, Jimmy. I especially like that move in the fifth inning when you scratched your balls for an hour.
Anything worth doing is worth doing right.
Yeah, until you did that, I couldn't tell if you were drunk or dead.
It was made very clear to me why I'm here. Smile and wave my hat. I did it. When do I get paid?
Look, Jimmy, it's the uniforms and the publicity that'll get people to come. But it'll have to be the baseball that gets them to come back. Now, you've got some pretty good ball players here, and if you...
Ball players? I haven't got any ball players. I got girls. Ball players aren't girls. Does this sound right to you? On a hot smash down to the third, well, it's stuck between her breasts. What does it sound like? Girls are what we sleep with after the game, not what we coach during the game.
Listen, if we paid you more, could you be more disgusting?
Well, I could use the money.
Evelyn enters the dugout. She's nervous. She's generally meek.
Mr. Dugan?
He stares at her but doesn't respond.
Evelyn Gardner. I played first base today in the game.
No response.
Can he hear?
He can hear, he just can't think.
Oh, well, I just spoke to my husband and he says I can't leave our son with him when we go out on the road. He says he's too busy reading the want ads and I should take him with me and shut up about it. So can I take my son with me on road trips?
Ball players.
He spits a lot of tobacco juice and exits. Like a classic joke.
He's just the sweetest little boy. Everyone's gonna love him.
We cut to the bus that day, the next day, I think. The team is riding down the road. A 6-year-old boy is running down the aisle, screaming annoyingly. He's wearing a little short pants navy suit, including sailor hat. He's got a stick, and as he runs up the aisle, he hits all the girls in the back of the head.
God damn it, Evelyn. Get a hold of that little porker before I throw him out of a window.
Stillwell. Angel.
We angle onto May. She's frantic. She's coming at Stillwell from the back of the bus with a bat. Doris jumps out and grabs her from behind. May struggles forward, dragging Doris.
I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna take him deep.
No! Too many witnesses.
Evelyn, why is he so wild?
I don't know. Here, Stillwell. Have another surprise nutcake. That feels awkward for a child. Maybe it will calm you down.
I don't want to do it.
I had to. You had to.
It's a very big surprise nutcake. Stillwell grabs it. He already has chocolate on his mouth. God damn it. His eyes widen. He's on a sugar high.
Not the wrapper, honey.
Psst, Dottie.
Dottie goes to the back of the bus where Kit, Marla, May, Doris, and Alice are sitting. Behind May is a gallery of color magazine photos of handsome male movie stars and Charles Atlas type magazine ads.
I've got a great idea for a trick to play. When there's a runner on third, Alice, you charge in like you're looking for a bunt. The runner will follow you. Only Ellen Sue sneaks in behind her, and
We're not talking baseball, Tiger.
What's up?
Game tonight, we're all going out. Want to come?
after curfew?
Yeah, so what?
How are you going to get past Miss Cuthbert?
I'll deal with her.
Angle on Miss Cuthbert, a middle-aged woman staring suspiciously at the girls with steely eyes. Angle back on the group. They continue speaking in whispers.
May's gonna poison her dinner.
What?
Not fatally, but she won't stop throwing up till the war's over.
Not necessarily this war.
Kit, can I see you alone?
Sure.
They get up and move to another part of the bus.
I don't think you should be hanging around with the outfield.
Why not? They're fun.
They're fast.
They like me.
Dottie gets right up next to Kit to tell her a secret.
I heard from some of the girls. May's gone all the way.
Kit is shocked at female sexuality. She tries to hide it, but she's stunned. She looks at May. We angle on May laughing and having a good time. We angle back to Dottie and Kit, where Dottie nods grimly.
So?
So?
You've gone all the way?
That's different. I'm married. I'm supposed to.
Pause.
What was it like?
What?
I always wanted to ask you, what was it like?
It was fine. It was very refreshing.
What, like surprise nutcake?
I don't want to talk about this with you. I don't think you should go out with me.
They're all looking at us. You're making me the team baby. They already think I'm just here because you're the star.
I'm not the star.
No, everybody's hitting 490. And you just treat me like a teammate and forget I'm your sister.
That's a little hard to do.
Oh, you found something that's hard to do?
Kit leaves her. Dottie is stunned by Kit's attitude. The bus lurches and they all pitch around. The girls shout. We angle on the driver. Still has his hands over the driver's eyes. The bus goes off the road and stops. The driver stands up.
That's it. I've had it. This isn't a kid. It's a monkey with dimples. I quit.
He opens the door and exits the bus. The girls shout at him to come back, but he doesn't. He walks down the highway. The girls yell at Evelyn. Evelyn runs and gets Stillwell and hands him another chocolate bar. We angle on Jimmy. He's asleep. There's a bottle in his jacket pocket. Mrs. Cuthbert approaches him cautiously. She pokes him. She leans her face right next to his.
Mr. Dugan!
What is it, baby? You want some more?
He gives her a big open mouth kiss, then opens his eyes. They both stare at each other for a second, and then promptly scream. Jimmy takes a drink out of his bottle, then spits it out the window.
What happened? Why'd we stop?
Lou, quit.
Here? Shit. Any of you girls ever driven a bus?
No answers. He gets up and heads for the front of the bus.
Mr. Dugan, I don't think you're in any condition to operate this conveyance.
Fine. We'll just sit here till the moss grows out your ass. Shouldn't be long.
He gets behind the wheel and they start. Is it? I'm just gonna ask. It's Racine, right? Or Racine? Racine? Yeah.
Racing.
Yeah.
Racine? Cool.
Racine.
Thank you. We cut to the outside of the Racine ballpark by night. May is up. She belts the ball up the alley and takes off. The Racine outfielders chase it while the crowd screams. It's a small crowd. May turns second and heads for third. They relay the ball in. May slides in safely with a triple. Angle on the rock for dugout.
Way to go, May. That's it. Dirt in the skirt. Dirt in the skirt.
Jimmy is reading a newspaper. Dottie, wearing shin guards, is flashing a complicated series of signals to Marla, who's the next batter. Jimmy glances up at Dottie, then at Marla.
What are you, stupid?
We're making too much noise, Jimmy. We wake you up.
If you're gonna squeeze a bunt with your best hitter, what's your sign to swing away? You, blonde girl, what's the sign?
The letters, but the infield's deep. A squeeze will work.
She repeats the sign.
Stop thinking with your tits.
He gives the opposite sign.
You want a big inning here?
Go back to your comics.
We angle on Marla. She's watching the dugout, confused, and doesn't know what to do.
Batter up.
Wait.
In the dugout, we see Jimmy and Dottie furiously flashing opposite signs. Jimmy's getting angry.
Hey, I'm the goddamn manager.
Then act like it, you big lush.
She walks away. Jimmy stares after her a moment, then flashes his sign again. We angle on Marla. She swings and smacks a base hit. Angle on the dugout. Jimmy claps his hands.
All right. Way to go, whatever the hell your name is. I still say you're not ball players.
He gives more signals. We cut back to the hotel room. Miss Cuthbert is lying face down on the bed, moaning. Jimmy, Ira, and a doctor are standing nearby.
Nurse, in the 43 years I've been practicing medicine, I've never seen a woman throw up that much.
Maybe that's what she does to entertain herself.
Jimmy glances out the window. He sees several of the girls climbing down the fire escape. He's amused by this. Miss Cuthbert moans again. Jimmy reaches over and pulls her head back by the back of her hair.
Can I get you something, Mrs. Cuthbert?
She moaned.
A couple of big greasy cheeseburgers? I'll take that as a yes. Mustard? Mayo? Relish?
Outside the suds bucket, it's loud, smoky, and beery. A band plays in the background. It's a jitterbug. At a table, Kit, Doris, and Betty are seated with three young guys, farm types. They're watching May and a guy jitterbug. May is really swinging. Everyone's watching. The guy grabs her by the waist and then lifts. And he brings her back down, then they dance another few seconds. Then he grabs his waist and lifts him. The dance ends. May and her partner join the others. There are 1,000 empty beer bottles on the table. Doris and Alice are necking lightly with their guys. Kit's guy is young and good looking. Kit is watching the other girls make out. She's a little nervous. Her guy's named Steve.
I got my truck parked outside.
Good place for it.
You wanna come out and see it?
I've seen a truck.
Well, maybe I have something you haven't seen.
Oh, honey.
He kisses her cheek, and she shifts uncomfortably.
I got a pitch tomorrow.
Come on, you're not really a ball player, cute little thing like you.
I'm a pitcher. I'm a good pitcher.
How about pitching to me? What the fuck does that even mean?
I know what it means in other contexts.
Well, I'm usually
I know,
bottom,
I was
but what
about
do you
to say,
mean?
like, I
Oh,
go on May and her guy kissing.
Is that your tongue or a belt?
Just like every lovely lady likes to hear. We angle back on Kit and Steve.
Hey, Willie, can I have that bat you keep behind the bar?
Are you kidding?
What do you say? Can't strike me out? We go to the truck
She hesitates and then smiles. She likes him.
for some reason.
Go ahead, Kit. You got nothing to lose.
You thinking to yourself, May? She probably does.
Okay.
They get up and head to the opposite end of the room. Willie throws Steve a bat. He spits on his hands and takes the stance. He looks pretty good. Willie takes a memento baseball off a shelf behind the bar and throws it to Kit. Everyone clears the middle of the room. There's a lot of noise and laughter. Kit is smiling. Her teammates are cheering her on. The men are cheering for Steve. Kit winds up and throws very hard. Steve swings and misses as the ball crashes loudly against the wooden wall. Steve looks surprised at Kit's speed. People cheer. Some ridicule Steve in a good-natured way. Steve, smiling, shakes his head and steps back in. Kit's having a good time. She pitches again very fast. Steve swings and misses. A louder reaction. Steve is discouraged now. He's still smiling, but he's losing hope. May sidles up.
You sure you want to strike this guy out?
What do you mean?
I mean, what did you come here for?
Kit looks in at Steve. He's taking off his shirt, revealing a sleeveless undershirt. He's well built. He loosens his shoulders. His friends urge him on. Kit ponders and smiles. Outside the Suds bucket, we see a car pull up. It's driven by a 13-year-old boy. Dottie is next to him. She's wearing a long coat.
Thanks for the ride.
Sure thing, doll body. What do you say we slip into the back seat and you make a man out of me?
What do you say I smack you around for a while?
Please, I'm excited enough.
She gets out of the car. Inside the bar, Kit prepares to pitch. She has an embarrassed smile on her face. She seems to decide something and laughs. She winds up. A hand grabs her arm so that the ball drops to the floor, and everyone gets quiet. We reveal that it's Jimmy who has grabbed her arm. Kit is surprised to see him.
maybe this is a decision you should make with a few less beers in you. Maybe not.
He lets her go and walks away. But he's broken her mood. Now she's not sure what to do. She waves at Steve as if to say, forget it. Steve shrugs and everyone disperses. The band resumes, including the girl singer, but now it's a slow tune. Dottie rushes in.
Kit,
Hi.
get the other girls. We gotta go.
What's the matter?
Lowenstein's coming out here. We're all getting thrown out of the league.
Does he know we're here?
He suspects. They ran a bed check. They were all over the hotel. I told him you were all taking a shower.
Ooh, quick thinking.
He said he was going to check every bar in Roadhouse. I just got my coat and jumped out the window and hitched a ride.
Come on, we gotta make like a bread truck and whole buns.
Is this all of you? Marla didn't come?
Game.
Yeah, she did.
Where is she?
There.
We angle on the bandstand. Marla, in a dress, is singing It Had to Be You in a deep, throaty, sexy voice.
You're
A
welcome.
farmer in his 30s is in her thrall. He sits there staring at her, entranced, his mouth slightly open. His name is Nelson. We angle back on the girls, and Dottie stares in disbelief. Back on the bandstand, Mark can to sing. We angle back on the girls.
What did you do to her?
Nothing. We just gave her a dress.
And a lot of liquor.
Go out the back. I'll get Marla.
The girls rush out the back door. We angle on Jimmy watching. He's amused. Angle on Dottie. Kit stops on her way out.
Thanks, Dottie.
Kit exits. Dottie runs up the bandstand and grabs Marla.
Marla, come on. We gotta go.
I'm singing to Nelson, ain't I, baby?
You sure are.
Come on, let's go.
She starts to lead Marla away.
No.
I can take her home. It'd be an honor.
No thanks. She's better.
Dottie tugs on Marla. Marla stumbles and, in falling down, pulls Dottie's coat off, revealing her nightgown. We angle on Jimmy, taking note of Dottie's shape. Just then, the door opens and Ira Lowenstein enters. Dottie sees him and freezes, while Marla struggles back up to her feet. Ira goes up to the bar, and Dottie's frozen. She doesn't know what to do. Ira takes off his glasses to clean them. As he does, he turns around and stares right at Dottie. He squints. He begins to put his glasses back on. As he does, Jimmy appears behind him, and in a move beautiful for its subtlety, he gives Ira a gentle backhanded rap on the head with a whiskey bottle. Ira, stunned, staggers and goes down unconscious. No one but Dottie was able to detect what Jimmy did. Jimmy indicates with his head that she should leave. She turns around and sees Marla and Nelson dancing. She's singing while they dance. He gazes at her adoringly.
Marla!
Get out of here.
But
I got a double header tomorrow and no fucking catchers. Besides, this is a place for lushes.
Ira moans. Dottie grabs her coat and runs out.
And I still say not ball players.
Jimmy helps Ira to a chair. He's still unconscious. A door opens near the bar. Cappy sets out of the back room. He's got his jacket off and he's carrying a deck of cards. Smoke pours out of the back room.
Hey, who do I gotta kill to get a fresh deck of cards? These feel like a dog's nose. Jimmy!
Cappy saunters over. Jimmy's sprinkling liquor all over Ira.
Jimmy Dugan as I live and breathe. Gee, I always meant to thank you for that trick you taught me. My wife loves it.
She always did.
What are ya? Hey!
What are you doing in town?
I'm running for mayor. I'm scouting for a shortstop. What do you think? What happened to him?
Cappy indicates Ira.
He's Harvey's man. He caught my best player breaking curfew, so
Ah, the old sleeperoo.
Deftly, he lifts Ira's wallet.
Want to make it look like a robbery?
Jamie grabs the wallet and returns it. Ira moans.
help me out, will ya?
Sure.
Jimmy, what happened?
You passed out? How much did you drink?
Nothing.
That's it. You stick to that story and I'll back you up.
What are you doing here?
He called me.
Ernie Capadino. I'm a scout for Mr. Harvey. I was in the back room at a little prayer meeting, and I figured somebody better come down here and get you.
He woke me up. Come on, let's get you home.
Wait a minute. I thought I saw your catcher down here in a nightgown.
Ah, it's always the quiet ones.
Now me, when I get loaded, I see Rita Hayworth in a black brassiere. But horses for horses, that's what I say. Horses.
Jimmy is hustling him out. Ira stops. He stares at Marla and Nelson.
Does she look familiar?
She should. When I got here, you were trying to put your head up her skirt.
Absolutely disgusting.
I don't remember having a single drink.
Jimmy leads him out. Cappy passes Marla and Nelson, who are dancing, and he stares at Marla.
All right, we have hit intermission, y'all. As you can see, the script is a lot different from the movie. Just a skosh. But we're moving right along. Why don't we does 10 minutes sound good for everybody else? All right. See you in
You want to
10.
do like 8:40?
Yeah, let's do 8:40. 12 minutes. How we doing?
Good.
Pat, you're killing it.
I watched on repeat
Sorry.
a couple of times. There's like a 10-minute clip of Jimmy's best moments on
Nice.
YouTube, and I just watched that after I watched the movie, and I was just,
Threw
I'm
you
really
off.
sorry that I've been
Surprise nut cake.
stuttering a little bit.
I haven't had one yet.
Yeah, I know you did during where you said you had it stuck in your throat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, sometimes I wrote this a while ago, so I forgot some of them.
How many of them you put in there?
Yeah,
I don't know. These nutcakes are in like the best timing. So
I did my best. Yeah.
Very well done.
Mine got me. I was like, I'm reading this now.
These are the words
I
that are
think,
coming out of my
like,
mouth.
I don't know if this is kind of why I said the whole teleprompter thing about narrating, but sometimes I like purposefully will not open the script until it's time because I want those moments to be like I want to experience them for the first time and I'm selfish about that.
It's
I like
giving Michelle in the room right now. What the fuck?
And then he threw a TV. Nick, how you
But
feeling about your first script read?
Oh, I'm doing okay.
You're doing a great job.
Hold on.
Nick's
I
like, I
gotta
don't
make
even know
it
the surprise nut cake thing. It's an inside joke.
I figured.
Yeah. I keep interrupting Danny. I'm sorry.
I always forget. What was the first surprise nut cake?
I think that was me when the mom was like, "It's like my surprise nut cake. Is it really the best?" And then the dad's like, "It isn't."
Oh, I thought you
no.
were talking about like
Yeah,
the
what
original.
was the OG surprise nut cake?
It was from Steel Magnolias. It was like somebody was gonna bring that to like the Easter parade or something, and we all were like, "What a weird fucking name for a a dessert." And then it just kind of spiraled from there.
We're gonna need to have some sort of document that's like, "Hey, you're new. Here's all the lore that you need."
Yeah, honestly, it just
Close enough.
for
Surprise
us.
nut
Here's surprise
cake.
nut cake. Close enough. Pictures
Surprise
of Spider-Man.
yeah.
you know, it's really funny because I've just silently never knew what it was about and just never asked. So I was like, it's a thing. Because my first one was Empire Records and it was already a thing. Like it had already happened. They're like nutcakes in here. And I'm like, okay.
Dubs. Rex Banning Day is like soon.
Right.
I think it was a surprise for me too, because I think there were like maybe 3 or 4 reads that I wasn't part of, and all of the inside jokes were born in those like few reads.
Mutefius. I wasn't in the Matrix because it was supposed to
Yep.
be like trans or gender fluid only, so I wasn't in that. And yeah, Mutefius came from that.
That one I don't think it was. I think for some reason you just weren't. That was Thelma and Louise was supposed to be trans people, like all trans.
I was in Thelma and Louise.
Oh,
I thought Matrix was supposed to be like all trans, or at least we'll say not cis, because of the Wachowskis.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I don't
At the very
remember.
least, it was like trans priority.
Yeah, I
Right.
think that's what it is. Because that one was a fairly big cast too, if I remember correctly. That was one of the first ones where I started assigning people like the secondary roles. Before that, we used to just, as we went, who could take this part? Who could take that part?
Chaos.
Yeah, absolute chaos.
I just want everyone to know that officially I'm sleepy.
Oh,
I'm
we'll
tired.
get through this, I promise.
I'm just sleepy.
I was gonna say I don't know how this is affecting me and I don't know why it's affecting me, but my back has been like in excruciating pain since the choir concert last week. So like I'm trying to seat myself in a way that's like not putting pressure on it.
Yeah.
I don't
Where's
know
the
why
pain?
it's like it's kind of like if somebody went right to the inside of my shoulder blade and stuck a knife.
That's where I have a pinched nerve. So here's what you need. Chiropractor is what I've been doing, but you gotta one of the exercises they gave me is to do this to do owl
Like this?
face. Yeah, you know the owl face.
Really? Oh, I can see how that opens up the shoulder blades.
And it
too.
opens
That
up,
makes a lot of
yeah,
sense.
opens up wherever
Yeah.
you need to open up. And I'm
Ah.
supposed to, yeah, like do like gracefully and grandly into owl face. like 30 times a
Alternate
day.
yoga with Kelsey.
If this was
Seriously?
any other group of friends that I would have, I would swear you're playing a prank on somebody right now.
I tell you what, it's a hoot.
She's all set her house on fire. That's the problem.
I
She's
did
one
set my
step away
cigarette on fire, and I was very proud of myself
Oh
for it.
no.
Like my fake cigarette. Where'd it go? Like I lit it.
Yeah, were you expecting Kathy to come back?
I was not expecting Cappy to come back out of nowhere.
Right.
Sir.
He comes back one more time. So
Again. No,
Yeah.
when they're like, you changed my life or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, my little hat is present.
All right.
I'm prepared.
Well, friends, we are at a little after 8:40, so I hope everybody that's been watching is back. I totally forgot to share the link. I was too busy trying to get things done, so hopefully people are watching. I don't know. But if you are,
That's none of my business.
yeah, if you like what you see, please donate to Cash App. I go by Danny. Danny, did you want to speak a little on it or no?
Yeah, so I've been I've been thinking because Ginger, I've told you a couple times that there's so few things that I know how to talk about very well. But I guess to describe our friend in need is to say that this is someone who is disabled and with a medically needy child and is kind of just doing the most with the least. And a couple months ago, they shared something about kind of struggling. So I approached Ginger and said, "Hey, if we do a friend in need thing, I'd love to do it. I'd love to help my friend out because I know whether it be groceries or small things, um it's still good to have even though whatever help you can. And I know that this group loves being part of helping with things. So, yeah. Yes, all the little shit insurance doesn't cover,
Yeah.
Exactly.
including like gas to and from, because for doctor's appointments, they have to drive a handful of hours to get to St. Louis.
Yeah.
So, yeah, basically just wanted to help them out.
Yeah, if you got like $5, $1, we'll take anything. Just send it over, and Daniel will make sure it lands in the right hands. And we appreciate you. And this way, it kind of skips that whole GoFundMe where they take out like an extra fee.
Some of it, yeah.
So
They don't need any money.
for real, yeah. But hopefully, we've tugged on your heartstrings a little bit, and we can finish out this movie. And I hope y'all are ready for Danny to narrate the shit down because it's about to happen.
All right, we good? All right, we open on footage of the war in Europe and soldiers hitting a beach.
Casualties are heavy as the Allies storm the beach at Anzio, attacking what Churchill calls Europe's soft underbelly. But boys who have quickly been forced to become men are winning yet another hard-fought victory for freedom.
A head-on shot of GIs slogging onto a beach. The camera focuses on a small group of them. Inside a movie theater, we see Dottie, Kit, May, Doris, and a couple of others watching the newsreel. Dottie gasps.
That's Bob. That's Bob. That's my Bob.
She stands.
Who's the cute guy next to him?
I don't know.
People sure. She sits back down again.
It was Bob.
Kit pats her on the arm. We see more newsreel footage. A title card under happy music. Woman gives birth to a 30-pound baby.
Yorkshire, England.
We pan a maternity ward. A lot of newborns surrounding a baby 4 times their size.
Mrs. Agnes Mucky gave birth last week to the world's biggest baby. This infant behemoth tipped the scales at 30 pounds 1 ounce. How's the proud mother? She's doing fine.
A shot of a woman in the hospital bed. Her husband lifts her head and shoulders for the camera. The woman looks destroyed. We hear sporty music and then see a shot of a woman's baseball game.
The newest thing in sports is the All-American Girls Baseball League.
Inside the theater, the girls excitedly nudge each other and squeal. We see newsreel footage.
Well, the league is still struggling to attract crowds. The games are very high quality, probably. I haven't seen them. Thanks to girls like the league's top batsman. Ha-ha! Batswoman! Pretty Dottie Hinson.
We see a newsreel shot of Dottie.
And her sister. She's great.
And then we see a shot of Kit, and then a shot of Dottie and Kit. In the audience, we see Dottie wince. Kit grits her teeth.
And a social note. Rockford's second sacker, Marla Hooch, has gotten married.
Newsreel shot of Marla and Nelson coming out of a door under crossed bats as other players throw rice.
She has been traded to Racine to be near her husband, Nelson, who makes cheese or something.
Nelson is beaming. He hands her a cheese in the shape of a heart. Marla eats it, looking happy.
Good luck to the happy couple, and good luck to the All-American Girls Baseball League.
We see the exterior of a ballpark by night. The crowd is sparse. Outside the dugout, the Peaches are gazing around at the empty seats. Jimmy strolls by.
Nice crowd. They can all share a soda.
He moves on.
You'll better start showing up. You don't have fans. You don't have a league.
Lowenstein enters the dugout with two guys, one of whom has a flash camera.
Ladies, these two gentlemen are from Life magazine.
The girls are impressed and excited. Doris primps.
Don't waste your time, Doris.
Fellas, there's someone here I want you to meet. Dottie?
Dottie looks up from where she was kneeling to put on her shin guards.
This is Dottie Hinson, the Queen of Diamonds.
The what?
Arthur waves at her to go with it. But the guys nod at her in greeting.
The best player in the league and pretty as Ann Sheridan.
Oh, I.
She'd make a great story. Husband overseas, right in the thick of the war.
Have you heard something?
No, I was just, he's...
He's what? You've heard something. Why did I tell you and not me?
Dottie, I just meant that he's in the war, that's all. Guys, get some pictures.
Maybe during the game.
Kit squeezes in next to Dottie, smiling.
Oh, this is her sister. Oh, there's another good angle. We didn't even want her sister, but Dottie wouldn't come without her, so we took her too. That's the kind of girl Dottie is.
Kit's smile disappears.
Okay, ladies, have a good game.
The photographer leans over to Dottie as he leaves.
Give me something worth shooting out there, okay, honey?
She smiles and nods uncomfortably. Ira leans over to her.
Try to give them something spectacular tonight, Dottie. We're dying.
The guys leave. Dottie continues adjusting her gear. Kit slumps down next to her.
Here we go again.
What?
Dottie's sister.
Oh.
That's probably how they'll start announcing me. Now pitching. Dottie's sister. When I die, here lies Dottie's sister. Why do you have to tell them about them only wanting you?
I didn't. Mr. Capadino must have.
I thought you were leaving.
Huh?
I thought once I got sad, I thought you were leaving.
Dottie stares at her.
You want me to leave?
No, you just said.
Well, I figured if it wasn't right to leave the team in the middle of the season, I'm the, a regular.
Let's go, girls! Dozens of people are waiting for this game to start.
The girls grab their mitts and head out to the field. We cut to the ballpark. That night, a ground ball is hit up the middle. Alice makes a diving backhand stop and throws out the runner. There's thin applause.
Two out.
Angle on Dottie. She looks up and around at the small crowd. She's concerned. She spots the photographer and the reporter. They look bored. She goes back behind the plate. The next batter hits a high foul pop. Dottie flings off her masks and follows. She settles under it. As the ball comes down, she does a split and catches it. The crowd screams. The life photographer gets the shot. We angle on Kit staring incredulously from the mound. And then we angle on Jimmy in the dugout with his mouth open. We angle on the stands. A few young guys are whooping it up. One of them copies Dottie's split in the aisle. He hurts himself. His friends laugh. The players enter the dugout.
What the hell was that?
I don't know. Just thought it might help the league.
She walks away.
Shit.
We see a montage. Under big band music, we see the following. A Life magazine cover of Dottie's split. Dottie smashing out a line drive. It becomes a newspaper photo under the headline, The Bells of the Ball Game. A sign on the scoreboard. It says, catch a foul, get a kiss. A shot of men in the stands fighting violently to catch it as Ellen Sue poses coquettishly at the plate. We see the bus and the music fades. Miss Cuthbert is addressing the girls. I think you're muted.
Miss Mute Bert here.
All. Girls, we have a new bus driver. It turns out Mr. Dugan hasn't actually had a valid driver's license since 1935.
She glares at Jimmy.
Something about a high-speed chase and a minor.
Jimmy tries to remember. Then,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Now, girls, please, no rough language. This boy is my nephew.
angle on the girls looking ill.
And it's his first time away from home. Oh, here he comes. Girls, this is Paul.
Paul enters. He's about 19, sweet, young, innocent, well-built, and gorgeous. Angle on the outfielders. Their eyes bulge. They're vultures. Dottie again chases the foul pop. At the last moment, she turns around and catches the ball behind her back. The angle on the stands. Ira stands and smiles broadly, clapping his hands. He loves it. Another night. Gurneys are set up in the infield and the girls are giving blood to army nurses. Another game. Betty makes a shoestring roll and catch of a fly ball. This becomes a newspaper photo under the headline Glamour Girls of Big League Ball in the Sporting News. A crowd shot. There are more people having fun. A hotel corridor. Stillwell, with the candy bar, is running wild. Paul passes him, fishing out his key. A door opens. A woman's arm is reaching out and yanks him back into her room. The clubhouse. The girls are paid in cash. Their eyes bulge as they watch the bills counted into their hands. We see the inside of a department store. Women's clothing department. Several of the girls, including Dottie, are shopping excitedly, pulling things off the racks, having a ball. Kit enters from a changing room in a very sexy dress of the period. Maybe something slid up the side. She loves it. The male clerks stare at her somewhat leeringly. Dottie quickly shoves her back toward the dressing room over Kit's objections. In a hotel room, once again, Miss Cuthbert is ill in bed, attended by a doctor. Another roadhouse. The girls are dancing and having a ball. The Keller farmhouse. Molly's reading Life magazine with Dottie on the cover. Bill, as he crosses, sneaks a glance at it. When Molly looks up, he passes on as if he weren't interested. On the bus, we see May in the back seat, hanging out the bus window smoking. The girls around her keep an eye on Miss Cuthbert. May comes back in. She passes the butt, and the next girl leans out to smoke. She comes back in and hands the butt to Kit. Kit's about to lean out when the butt is pulled from her hand. She looks up and sees Dottie holding it. She's angry. Kit is embarrassed. She yells, Dottie yells back. Miss Cuthbert turns around, and they all smile. Miss Cuthbert faces front again. They go back to fighting. Another game. Kit fielding a line drive hit back at her head. This becomes a newspaper photo under the headline, These Gals Play for Keeps. Another game, crowd shot. A really good-sized crowd this time. An exterior shot of the ballpark at night. The music fades. The Rockford girls are coming in off the field. Jimmy confronts Evelyn as she reaches the dugout.
Evelyn, let me ask you something. You got a moment?
She nods. She's afraid of him.
Which team are you on?
Well,
No, I'm curious. What are you throwing out to third when they got a 3-run lead? Should get the out. Now they got a big inning thanks to you. Use your head. That's 3 feet above your ass.
He starts to walk away, but Evelyn bursts into tears. Jimmy stops. He can't believe it. 2 of the girls lead Evelyn away. All the girls glare at Jimmy.
Crying? There's crying. There's no crying in baseball. No crying. When Rogers Hornsby was my manager, he once called me a talking pile of pig shit. And anyone in front of the parents who had driven down from Michigan. Did I cry? No. There's no crying.
The plate umpire approaches the dugout.
Oh no, is he frozen?
I think
All right.
computer restarted.
Okay, let me go ahead. I'll just take over as umpire while we're waiting, and then he can always pop back in if he pops in. What's the matter, Jimmy?
She's crying.
Perhaps you chastised her too vehemently. Good rule of thumb: treat each of these girls as you would treat your mother.
Anybody ever tell you look like a little penis with a hat on?
You're out of here.
The girls applaud. The music swells again over the following. Dottie chasing a foul pop. She dives into the stands. She comes out holding the ball in her glove and a hot dog in her bare hand. She takes a bite. The crowd loves it. Close up of money. It's put into an envelope marked David Hooch, Fort Collins, Colorado. We pull back to reveal Marla licking the envelope shut. We see the hotel corridor. A door opens, and Paul, very much worse for the wear, staggers out into the hallway. He begins to walk down the hall when another door opens and another female arm yanks him back into that room. Another ball game. Kit and Dottie are on the mound arguing. Another ball game. May going first to third on a single. And another ball game. May and Doris support Betty off the field. Betty's face shows lots of pain. She doesn't put any weight on one of her legs. Jimmy steps out of the dugout to help support her. We see a final shot of a big crowd whooping up. In the locker room, the girls are dressing. The music fades slightly. Jimmy enters. He's fully dressed.
Close your eyes, girls. I'm coming through.
That seems like the person who should be closing their eyes. Works perfectly. We see another ball game. One of the girls is legging out a triple. A man in the third base boxes stands and screams.
Slide, slide.
She slides. He can see up her dress.
Thank you.
The music rises again. We see the locker room. Alice is on the trainer's table. She hikes up her skirt, revealing painful-looking strawberries on one of her thighs. Jimmy sees this and winces. We see another hotel corridor. The door opens. Paul stumbles out, landing on his knees. He's wrecked. He uses the wall to rise. He feels his way along the wall for support. His hands reach a door, which opens. He falls into the arms of a woman who pulls him into her room and shuts the door. The music swells to a finish over the following. A full house in the crowd. They stand and cheer. Ira stands and he's beaming. We cut back to the road. The girls push the bus through a storm. Kit and Dottie lose their footing and slide down into the mud, both laughing. They flick mud at each other and laugh harder and harder. Outside the ballpark, we see Kit pitching. The batter connects and runners start moving. Dottie stands up and prepares for a play at the plate. Angle on the dugout.
Get in! Get in!
You haven't deleted it yet, so I'm going to say it. That's what she said. The angle on the field. A big girl's heading for the plate. Dottie braces herself. The throw comes in, and an instant later, the runner crashes into Dottie, who goes flying. She rolls over and holds up the ball.
You're out.
Dottie spikes the ball hard, picks up her mask, and heads for the dugout. She's limping. She reaches the dugout and sits. She's sweaty and beat up. She almost seems lost in her equipment. One of the girls hands her a cup of water, and wiping dirt and sweat off her face, she leans forward to catch her breath and watch the game. We angle on Jimmy as he stares at her. He seems to be trying to figure something out. He isn't aware of his staring. He walks over and sits down next to her. She offers him a cursory nod and shifts her attention back to the field. He takes out his chewing tobacco, stares at her some more, then,
Want some?
That?
A lot of ball players use it.
she stares at him. She's getting the full importance of what he's saying. We see a little pride in her face.
Sure.
She takes a little bit. Really? He puts his wad in his mouth. Again, that's very much what she said. And in a brave moment of inclusivity, she puts her wad in her mouth, following his lead. They both turn to watch the game, each leaning forward, two of a kind, watching and chewing their wads. Outside the bus, in one long shot, the team bus rolls through the Midwestern night. It's the only vehicle on the road. Periodically, heat lightning flashes in the sky. Inside the bus, it's quiet and dimly lit. Some girls are sleeping, others are talking quietly. Angle on Dottie and Jimmy as they share a seat. They're relaxed and friendly, and Jimmy is looking at a snapshot.
Good looking. What's he do when he's not in the Army?
He's assistant manager at the dairy. He'll be manager someday. He's real smart.
Where'd you say he was? Italy?
Yeah, I think. I haven't gotten a letter from him in over a few weeks now. I used to get one every week.
Yeah, well, that doesn't mean anything. You know, you're in combat. There's not a mailbox in every corner. Besides, if anything happened to him, you've already gotten a telegram.
Oof, those.
Believe me, he's fine.
He returns the snapshot.
You ever married?
Let me think. 3 times.
Any children?
Yeah, 2 of them were.
She laughs. The camera moves down the aisle past a few sleeping girls to May and Shirley. Shirley's reading under May's supervision.
He ripped her
Kimono.
off and grabbed her milky.
What are you giving her to read?
What's the difference? She's reading. That's the important thing. Go on, Shirley. You're doing great.
Stillwell is asleep on Evelyn, and she is humming.
What you writing, a letter?
A song.
Really? What's it about?
Us.
We push onto the back seat where Doris, Kit, and a few others are talking softly. They're keeping a scrapbook. Kit's reading an article.
Hey, look at this. They call me the Oregon Rifle. Kit Keller, the Oregon Rifle. That's me.
Helen is holding a snapshot.
And yet Betty is talking. Hey, Doris, is this your boyfriend?
Yep.
Is this out of focus?
No, that's how he looks.
Oh.
But the important thing is he's stupid. He's out of work and he treats me bad.
He takes back the picture.
Then why?
Oh, there we go. Sorry.
Yeah.
Now she
Zoned
takes
out.
back the
Sorry.
picture.
Because none of the other boys, everybody always made me feel wrong, you know?
They know.
Like I was a strange girl or not even a girl, but I don't feel wrong now. I mean, look, there's like a lot of us. I think we're all okay.
She rips up the picture and lets the pieces blow away out the window. We see stock footage from D-Day. Soldiers are hitting the beaches at Normandy. We see the interior of the Rockford locker room. The girls are there after a game. They've won. There's a banging from inside the lockers, and Dottie opens it. Ellen Sue charges out.
I'm going to kill you, May.
Dottie laughs, and Jimmy enters.
Listen up. Before you get down on your bloomers, Mr. Harvey would like to come in and say a few words.
There's a buzz of excitement.
Taking off my shirt. When he sees these tits, might want to marry me.
You mean there's a man who hasn't seen your tits?
Harvey and Lowenstein enter. Harvey is smiling. Lowenstein is not. As Harvey enters, the girls applaud.
Ladies, it's I who should be applauding you. You girls are sensational.
The girls beam with pride.
I suppose you've all been very excited about all the good news in Europe and the Pacific.
They cheer.
I've just heard from President Roosevelt himself. Men's baseball will not be shut down. Not now, not ever.
More applause.
Well, that means that we will no longer be in the business of girls' baseball after the season. I don't want you to think we don't appreciate what you've done. So each of you is getting a $100 bonus after the playoffs. Once again, thank you.
The girls are stunned. Some of them don't realize what's just happened, and others are just beginning to. Lowenstein looks sad.
What do you mean? We're through?
No, he doesn't mean that. A rich, attractive man like this. I may. And that's more than a name. It's an attitude.
These girls are great. And yes, honey, I'm afraid so. You can hold your playoffs and then you can all go home with a season full of wonderful memories.
You stink.
Excuse me, we're done.
He starts to leave. The girls start screaming, no, no, etc.
No, etc.
No.
No.
Nope.
Etc.
May steps forward.
Hey,
No, sorry.
what am
Let's take it from May.
Hey, what am I supposed to do, huh? Think I'm gonna go back home and cook for my brothers? That ain't happening.
Can he stop us from playing? How can he stop us from playing?
The girls start yelling, we want to play. Let us play. Harvey just shakes his head and heads for the door.
Mr. Harvey.
Yes, Ira, we'll talk outside.
No, sir. Let's talk in here. This is what's going to happen in the factories, too, isn't it? The men are back, Rosie, turning your rivets. We told them it was their patriotic duty to get out of the kitchen and go to work, and when the men come back, we'll send them back to the kitchen.
What should we do? Send the boys returning from war back to the kitchen?
Ira looks at the girls and reaches a decision.
I'd like your permission to take over the league.
The girls cheer.
What? Ira, you don't understand. All the owners are getting out. All of us. Even dumb Ray. We hate that guy.
I can find new ownership. Local people, maybe. These towns really love these girls.
There's no place for girls' baseball in this country once the war is over. They're through.
You stink.
I heard you the first time, dear.
You're still stinky.
Listen, Mr. Rich Chocolate Man, don't tell me there's no place for us. This is our place. We're staying here. This league is not folding. We won't let it. We are not losing our league, mister.
The girls stand and cheer. Ira looks at Harvey and Harvey leaves. Inside the bus at night. The girls are on the bus in their uniforms. They are singing the All-American Girls Baseball League song. They are full of spirit. The song ends and they congratulate Evelyn.
My husband said it was stupid.
Hey, any man who marries you is stupid.
Thank you.
Paul enters. He trips coming up the stairs. He looks like hell. He crawls into his seat and just sits there staring.
Come on, Paul. What are you waiting for? Let's get started.
Mechanically, Paul stands up and begins to undo his pants.
Paul!
Paul realizes where he is.
Oh, I'm on the bus.
He sits back down and prepares to start.
Wait a second. Hold it.
Paul waits, and a Western Union boy about 30 years old jumps onto the bus. He's carrying a sealed telegram on a clipboard. His name is Lester.
Whoa, just made it. I've got a telegram for one of you ladies from the War Department.
The girls all gasp.
Let's see. Boy, I hate these. These are the worst. The least the Army could do is send someone personally to tell you your husband's dead. Darn, I had the name right here.
Angle on Dottie, frozen with fear. Then cut to Lester, still checking. He's annoyed.
Well, I'm going to have to go back and get this straightened out. Sorry.
Jimmy grabs him.
Give me the telegram.
I can't. I don't have a name on the checklist.
Give me the telegram.
Hey, this is
Jimmy
from the War
grabs the
Department. This is official and nobody...
Jimmy grabs the telegram and shoves Lester off the bus. Jimmy pauses a second, then opens the envelope. He just peeks inside for an instant and reacts. He walks down the aisle of the bus right toward Dottie. She looks ready to pass out. Kit holds her, and Jimmy goes to the seat right behind them.
Betty.
George!
Dottie lets her breath out, and all eyes now turn to Betty. She can't open the telegram. Evelyn does it and reads it.
He's not dead, honey.
The girls all react, excited.
Really?
He lost an arm.
Okay. Okay.
He's coming home.
Betty breaks down completely.
Come on. We'll get you off the bus.
Miss Cuthbert takes her off the bus. The girls are shocked. They seem drained.
Okay, Paul. We got a game to play. Let's go.
The bus pulls out. We see the Rockford baseball park. The game is in progress. Kit is pitching and the runners are on. She gives up a hit. Angle on the scoreboard. Rockford is ahead 6-2. We see that both runs for the other team have come in the 9th inning. Angle on Kit. She's tired. She's pitching. A base hit. Another scores. Angle on the dugout where Jimmy's pacing. Worried. An angle on the field. Kit gives up another hit. Another run scores. Angle on the dugout. Jimmy heads for the mound. And an angle on the mound. Jimmy and Dottie reach the mound where Kit's waiting.
Game's getting pretty exciting.
I'll finish it right here. I'll strike this turkey out.
I got Shirley ready to come in.
I really want to finish this game, Jimmy.
Jimmy is torn. He spits, then looks at Dottie.
What do you think?
Dottie's on the spot.
Well, you know, she's battling.
What do you think?
She's done. She's throwing grapefruits up there.
Bullshit.
That's it. Blue?
Jimmy signals for a new pitcher. Kit flips the ball against Dottie's chest protector and storms off the mound. We angle on the stands. Ira's sitting with Ludenberger, a middle-aged man. Ira is selling his heart out.
I'm telling you, Mr. Luttenberger, you buy this ball club, you've got a gold mine. Picture your sign, Luttenberger mustard plaster, all across the whole outfield wall, and every hot dog they sell here with your mustard on it.
Yeah. Who's gonna own the other clubs?
Oh, you know, big local tycoons like you.
So you got no one yet.
Well, we're on the brink.
Hot damn. I like that catcher. That's a ball player.
Oh, Dottie, yeah, she's great.
That's the kind of girl that we sell in my mustard. A healthy American girl, not one of those little birdie models from Chicago.
That's right. That's right. Dottie could be your mustard girl.
Mustard maiden.
That's right. Well, what do you think? You want in?
Have to ask my wife.
He turns to a woman next to him, who is knitting, not even looking up.
What do you think, mother?
Do it.
We're in.
Great.
Angle on the field. Shirley gets the last out. We follow the happy Peaches into the dugout, where Kit is steaming.
Nice game, Kit.
Guess it would have killed you to stick up for me.
Kit, you had nothing left. It was a big game. It put us in the series.
I could have finished.
You had nothing out there. Stillwell could have hit off of you.
Doris passes. She hasn't heard the argument. She's carrying a cup of water.
What's the matter, Kit? You too big to finish your own games?
Kit impulsively wheels around and fires her glove at Doris's face. A bullseye.
Hey!
Doris flings her water in Kit's face. Kit attacks her. The girls jump in to stop it. We angle on the stands where Ira and the Luttenbergers are filing out.
What's going on there?
It's the boisterous energy of youth.
That one girl, that pitcher, she's crazy.
Angle on the dugout. The girls are trying to break up the fight. Dottie grabs Kit and pushes her. Dottie stumbles over a bat and lands on the floor. She's not hurt. Angle on the stands.
She knocks down the star player. First rule of business, don't mess with the money.
Angle on the dugout. The melee is still going on. Several girls have a hold of Kit. Jimmy picks Kit up and carries her into the tunnel. Inside the locker room, the girls are dressing. Kit, soaked and wearing a sopping wet uniform, goes to her locker. Dottie watches her for a moment.
You okay?
My rear end hurts. Where'd Jimmy drop me?
You act like a baby out there.
You treat me like a baby.
I treated you like a pitcher who lost her stuff.
You know, when Shirley's in trouble, you nurse her through. You're out there every pitch backing her up.
You hate when I come out there. Last week, you threw a resin bag in my face and told me to get my fat ass back behind the plate. Was that you or the umpire?
All I know is you could have backed me up today instead of holding me back like you always do.
I hold you back?
I don't mean hold me back. I mean,
what do you mean?
It's like at home. It's like if you're here, I'm not here.
What does that mean?
I don't know. I don't know what I mean. I know I'm wrong. I know you're right. I'm wrong. I get so mad.
At me?
Kit is frustrated by her inability to explain.
At me?
Kit won't answer. The locker room is rattled by a loud crash against the outside wall. Everyone stops for a moment and listens. The crash is repeated.
What is that?
Diamonds! We're being bombed!
2 or 3 girls scream. Dottie climbs up on a chair and looks out a high window.
It's nothing.
We see the outside of the field. The lights are on. Dottie is walking from the outfield toward home plate. Someone is taking batting practice off a mechanical pitching machine. As Dottie gets closer, we can see that it's Jimmy. He's really belting them out. Dottie reaches the infield area and watches him for a while. He smashes one that hits the clubhouse wall in center field.
What is that thing?
Automatic pitching machine. Take all the batting practice you want and don't wear out a pitcher. Now we just need a machine to bring back the balls.
He keeps hitting.
You look great. You look like you could still go.
It's just a machine. It ain't no Bob Feller. Harvey offered me the Wichita job for next year, managing.
Wow, AAA.
Yeah, I figured I could get in shape, show those kids something.
He belts one, stops, and thinks.
Boy, I had a sweet swing. When I stood there, I was locked in. I didn't hear anything. I didn't feel anything. It was me and the baseball. Like a tunnel, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They stare at each other.
I love watching you play. You're like Cobb or Williams. It's like you're starving and every pitch was a meal. I love that.
No, I just like to play.
You're an animal. You're a ball-playing animal. Food, air, baseball. That's you.
No, just
You just like to play. What is it with you? What are you so ashamed of?
I'm not. I'm not supposed to care that much. It's just a game.
What is that word?
Pinochle.
Pinochle.
Pinochle. Pinocchle's a game. Baseball is what what gets you inside, what gets inside you and lights you up.
You know, sometimes when I'm out there, it feels perfect. It's like I'm doing something perfect.
Right?
And I think I can do anything. I can catch everything they hit and I can hit everything they throw, and I'm the best and I love it.
She's flushed with excitement. Jimmy grabs her and kisses her. She lets him. And a moment later, she pulls back. They're both stunned.
I'm so sorry. I tripped.
How could you do that to me? I thought you liked me.
She goes quickly back to the dugout and down the runway. Jimmy stares. Then he takes his bat and flings it as hard as he can out into the field. Inside the locker room a few minutes later, Dottie bursts in, very flustered.
Dottie, can I see you a second?
She looks up and sees Ira. She can't focus her thoughts.
What?
There's someone outside I'd like you to meet. He's thinking of buying the team and
I have to leave.
sure, get dressed and
No, I'm leaving the team. I'm going home.
what? Why? What's
I can't explain. I just
Dottie, this is going to hurt us very badly. The hardest thing I have to do is to convince prospective owners that you girls take this league very seriously. That you won't just run off whenever you.
You're looking for new owners for all the teams, right?
Yeah.
So then I might as well play one place as another, right?
What are you?
I'll stay if you trade me to another team. Racing, Kenosha, I don't care. But you have to trade me. You have to get me off of this team.
Why?
It's personal.
Are you having some trouble? Is it the players? Jimmy?
She doesn't answer.
It's Kit, isn't it?
Kit?
I noticed there's some friction there. Is that it? You want to be separated?
Yeah, that's it. She claims I hold her back, and I've been thinking maybe she's right and she'd do better if I wasn't around. So that's it. Will you trade me?
You're very important to us, Dottie. I'll work it out, okay?
Okay.
We cut to outside a cafeteria. A close-up of a sign in the window. All you can eat for 99 cents. Inside, we see a close-up of a tray piled high with an enormous amount of food. Pull back to reveal Doris carrying the tray to a table.
Jesus, how can you eat that much?
I had a small breakfast.
You did not.
Not today. Once when I was a kid, I had a small breakfast. I'm making up for it.
Dottie is behind them with Evelyn. She's carrying a tray of food. Suddenly, her tray goes flying up in the air, and a foot appears where the tray used to be. Food, tray, and silverware go crashing. We reveal that Kit has kicked Dottie's tray.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Dottie stares wide-eyed in amazement. Kit is seething.
You bitch.
What?
I've been traded to racing.
You?
Don't act surprised. Lowenstein told me you said we couldn't play together, didn't you?
Kind of, but
Oh, jeez.
I told him to trade me.
Oh, yeah, they'd really trade you, Miss Perfect, Miss Star. You knew what would happen.
Look, I didn't. Look, I'll quit. Okay, I'll.
Oh, sure, then everybody will blame me for you quitting.
What do you want me to do? I'll do it.
Stay away from me. You know something? We're going to play you in the playoffs, and I'm going to beat your butt.
It was a mistake. This whole thing was a mistake.
I'm going to strike you out every single time you're up.
You're not listening.
I knew if I did something too good, you'd do something to push me right back down.
Pause.
Blow it out your rear end. I'm so sick of being blamed for everything that's bothering you. Now, there's nothing I wouldn't do to win that series. You're going to beat my butt? You're dreaming.
My train leaves at 6. I only have 10 minutes to pack.
Kit walks away.
Well, if you have any trouble, you know who to blame.
Doris is standing behind Dottie.
You gonna eat that?
See the insert to a newspaper headline. First Women's World Series. Then underneath, Rockford faces Racine. We see the outside of the Rockford baseball park. The two teams are warming up before the game. Dottie is warming up Shirley. Shirley throws the ball over Dottie's head. The ball skips the line in front of the old right field box seats. An 18-year-old black woman seated in the first row, surrounded by other black people, leans over the railing and scoops up the ball. Dottie, by this time, has jogged out a few steps toward the ball. She looks at the woman who looks at her. The woman gets ready to throw. Dottie raises her glove. The woman throws it hard over Dottie's head, right to Evelyn. It's a great throw. Dottie stares at the woman, impressed. She doesn't know what to do or say. The woman stares wistfully out at the field. Dottie stands there reflecting on what she's just seen, then turns and heads back toward Shirley. She's distracted by Evelyn waving to her, and Evelyn is with Marla. We angle on the box seats. Ira's sitting with a few Midwestern businessmen. He's selling his heart out.
I'm telling you, gentlemen, if you buy into this league, you're getting a gold mine. Rockford and Racine are a real rivalry, you know, like the Giants and Dodgers. I'm telling you, these girls just don't like each other.
Harold, they're lesbians and they're kissing.
Huh?
Can I just change the plot here? A long shot of the field. A Racine player is exchanging friendly kisses with two Rockford players. Angle on the box seats.
It's the kiss of death. They're serious about this game.
Angle on the field. The three players in question are Dottie, Evelyn, and Marla. Dottie looks tired.
You look great. You happy?
Yeah. Nelson, oh, wrong way. This is the Stillwell one. Nelson's good to me. He comes to all the games, only I don't play that much anymore.
How come?
I'm pregnant.
What?
Yeah.
That's great. Why are you still playing at all?
We could use the money. See, our manager don't know. I just tell him my back hurts and he don't use me much. All the girls, though, know. So like if there's a play at second, they throw the ball high so I don't have to bend. And the girls on the other team kind of just leave me be.
Well, we'll let our girls know.
But not your manager. He'll tell.
You shouldn't even be here, Marla.
It's just a few more games and then I'll be back next year.
Dottie looks over and sees Kit in her Racine uniform talking to some other Racine girls.
Is Kit pitching today?
No, they're gonna save her.
How's she doing?
She's kind of tense, you know.
I know.
Dottie stretches her jaw the way she used to.
What's the matter?
Huh?
You were...
Oh, I got something in my teeth.
Well, Lowenstein said this series will decide whether we're all coming back next year. So let's give them a good show. Dirt in the skirt.
Dirt the skirt.
Right. Dirt in the skirt.
They break up and go to their own dugouts. Later at the ballpark, we see someone on Racine hitting a line drive. The Rockford third baseman dives and catches it, ending the inning. Angle on the box seats. The businessmen are drinking beer, eating hot dogs, but they're noncommittal.
Oh, sorry. Aren't our towns a little small, Ira? I mean, the potential's kind of limited.
Not at all. We're ready to add some teams. Milwaukee, Minneapolis, those are big towns. Have another beer.
Ira's worried. He's not making much headway. The angle on the field. Dottie is coming up to bat. There are shouts from the Rockford dugout of get it started. Jimmy is coaching first. Angle on the racing dugout.
Easy, batter.
Dottie hits a hard ground ball to second. It takes a bad hop, hitting the second baseman in the face, allowing Dottie to reach first. The crowd reacts with an ooh as the second baseman gets hit. The racing manager, Charlie from the tryout scene, comes to where the second baseman is kneeling. He looks at her mouth, then hands her a towel and leads her off, signaling for a substitute. Dottie does not look at Jimmy.
Okay, nice shot. You're tying run. Doris isn't running good. So if she hits it on the ground, you've got to go hard into second. Break up the double play. You understand?
She doesn't respond.
Are you ever going to talk to me again?
No.
You know, it wasn't my fault. All my fault. You were there too.
I was tired. I was lonely.
Oh,
and I have a rich, full life.
Behind Dottie, Marla is taking second base. Angle on the racing dugout. They wave at the Rockford dugout.
Dottie!
Angle on Dottie. She glances at the dugout.
I'd like to be friends again.
Right here in front of everybody?
Angle on dugout.
Marla! Marla!
She pantomimes a little potbelly. Angle on Dottie. She's listening to Jimmy.
I mean friends. Hello, how are you? Jesus, Jimmy, you look like shit. Have you ever had to comb your hair? Friends.
I'm trying to concentrate on the game.
Angle on the dugout.
Dottie!
To Dottie. She waves offhandedly at Evelyn. We go back to the dugout. Evelyn's satisfied that Dottie got her message. She nods and sits down. Angle on Doris coming up to bat. She swings and hits a ground ball to short. Angle on first base.
Go!
Dottie digs hard for second. We angle on second base. The shortstop scoops up the ball and tosses it face high to Marla, covering second. As Marla gets the ball, she turns toward first base to try to complete the double play. At that moment, Dottie comes in, throwing a rolling slide at her. Just an instant before contact, Marla's face turns to Dottie, who, rolling in, recognizes Marla. Dottie's eyes widen with surprise and horror. She's got too much momentum to stop and rolls into Marla. Marla flips head over heels, crashing down to the infield dirt. She cries out and lies there. We go to the Rockford dugout. Evelyn stands, stunned, and then runs out into the field. Back to the racing dugout. Marla's teammates, including Kit, dash onto the field. We go to the stands. Nelson jumps up and also heads for the field. On second base, we see Dottie has turned Marla over and is talking to her hysterically.
I'm sorry. I didn't see you. I didn't know you were in the game, Marla.
Marla moans. Kit arrives. She pushes Dottie away.
I didn't know.
You knew. Evelyn yelled at you from the dugout.
I didn't hear her. I was talking to Jimmy.
Marla's teammates have placed her on a stretcher.
Anything to win. That's you. You're in your own world out here and nobody else counts for nothing.
Kit goes off with the girls carrying Marla. Dottie is badly shaken. Doris hands her her hat.
Jesus, Dottie, it's only a game.
Dottie is hurt by this. We see the inside of the hotel room. Dottie's seated on the edge of her bed, leaning forward, her head in her hands. The phone rings and she answers it.
Hello, Evelyn. It's great. And the baby? Oh, thank God. What? No, I'm okay. She's not. Thanks.
She hangs up. She's relieved but still upset. Her head goes back between her hands again and she stares at the floor. We see Dottie's point of view. She's staring down at a dirty spot on the carpet. There's a knock on the door.
Come in.
We hear the door open and close. After a moment, two men's shoes appear in Dottie's point of view. One has the toe cut out of the leather, revealing the sock. Next to that, she is the end of the cane. Angle on Dottie. Startled, she looks up, and we point to Bob. He's a good-looking man, smiling warmly. He's in uniform.
Hi, cutie.
Dottie begins to cry. She gets up and they embrace and kiss.
Bob, how did you? What happened?
I'm fine. It was a sniper. Shot the front of my shoe off. Got 7 of us before we got him.
Oh, sweetie.
It's all right. I made it. I'm here. I'm discharged, honey. I'm a civilian.
Oh, sweetie, I've missed you so much. I thought I'd never see you again.
I'm here. Almost forgot how beautiful you are.
I look terrible. We just had a game.
You look beautiful. It's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
Can we just hold each other for the rest of our lives?
That's the idea.
They kiss. We cut to the inside of a hotel coffee shop. The next morning, Jimmy is eating breakfast while he reads the sporting news. 2 kids approach him reverently.
Mr. Dugan,
Yeah,
would you sign my baseball?
sure.
He does, and he hands it to the kid.
Wow! Avoid the clap, Jimmy Dugan.
Wow.
They run off.
That's good advice.
He goes back to eating, but something outside in the street catches his eye. He gets up and leaves. Outside the hotel, we see Bob and Dottie. They're finishing packing the car. Bob checks his pockets.
Ah, shoot. I left my medicine in the bathroom.
Medicine?
It's nothing. It's so I don't get an infection. I'll be right down.
He goes back into the hotel. Dottie picks up a suitcase and puts it in the car. She looks around the street, waiting to leave.
You fooled me.
She turns and sees Jimmy.
I really thought you were a ball player.
Well, you were wrong.
Was I?
They're good enough to win without me.
Oh, we'll win without you. I'll see to that. If I have to wear a wig and a skirt, we'll win without you.
So,
I gave away 5 years at the end of my career to drinking. 5 years. And now I'd give anything to get it back. Any day of it.
we're different.
I guess.
It just got too hard.
It's supposed to be hard. If it wasn't hard, everyone would do it. The hard is what makes it great.
There's silence. He turns and leaves. As he leaves, we see Bob standing behind him.
Everything all right?
Dottie hesitates a moment. Then
Yeah.
they both get in the car. They drive away and we hold on the empty street. Then we cut to an outside view of the Racine ballpark by day. A big crowd is pushing its way into the park. A ticket window has "sold out" written across it.
Tickets. Game 7 tickets right here.
Some people approach her to buy tickets. Inside the locker room, the girls are all in uniforms, seated. It's tense. Jimmy is addressing them.
Outfield, I want you to play a couple steps deeper today. I don't want you to give up anything long. Alice, whenever they get up to their leadoff batter, you're going to bunt. Be ready. All of you. Gamble on the bases. Try to make something happen out there. Now, I won't ever hit a woman. Well, I've never thrown the first punch. Oh, what a mess that was. The legal fees.
Jimmy.
Right now, ladies. Now, ladies, I'd like to lead you all on prayer. O Lord, hallowed be thy name. May our feet be swift. May our bats mighty. And our balls be plentiful. And smite the other team, Lord. Smite them as you would smite the Philistines. What? You will?
Outside the dugout, we see Jimmy pacing nervously. The girls are at attention, listening to the end of the Star Spangled Banner, done by a poor female opera singer. It ends and the crowd cheers, hopefully because it ended. Jimmy continues to pace. Stillwell skips into the dugout.
You're gonna lose. You're gonna lose.
Jimmy grabs the bat and chases him out of the dugout. He stops and walks back. He passes a player in full catcher's gear, mask and all.
Look, Alice, if Shirley hasn't got it, tell me. Don't keep it a secret. You hear me?
She takes off the mask and it's Dottie.
You're screaming. I hear you.
Jimmy is shocked.
Where'd you come from?
We got as far as Yellowstone Park and turned back.
Trouble with bears?
I just thought if I didn't come back someday, I might wish I did.
Who said you could play? Alice has caught the last 5 games, and she was pretty damn good.
You don't want me to play?
You're already dressed. You want to play? Play. I don't care.
Well, then I'll play.
Fine.
She gets up and heads for the field.
You look like shit, Jimmy. Don't you ever comb your hair?
We're gonna win!
Quickly, he picks up a glove and fires it. Angle on Stillwell. The glove hits him in the head, knocking him down. 'Cause fuck them kids. Angle on Jimmy.
Got him!
Fuck them kids. Angle on the scoreboard. It's 0-0 in the top of the 8th inning. Angle on the field. Kit strikes out a Rockford player. The crowd screams. It's the 3rd out. Go into the inside of the scoreboard. It's like a dungeon. The scoreboard operator picks up another 0 and gets ready to slide it into the scoreboard. A rat scurries toward him. He picks up a hammer and attempts to hammer the rat, which scurries away. He slides the 0 into the scoreboard. The 0 appears on the outside of the scoreboard. The game is scoreless going into the... That was a really long paragraph to say this game is scoreless going into the bottom of the 8th. Dissolve to the stands. Ira's there with the prospective owners. Ira's really pumping hard. So much, that's what she said. Selling his little heart out. The others seem very non-committal.
What a game, huh? Some game, isn't it? Look, you're so excited, you're speechless.
Ira's clearly worried. Outside the ballpark a few minutes later, we see Racine is batting. They have 2 runners on base. Shirley, the Rockford pitcher, gets a sign from Dottie. She pitches and it's a ground ball to Evelyn. She picks it up and throws it to second, trying to get a forced play. Her throws high and sails into left field. A run scores for Racine. Angle on the Racine dugout, and the girls go wild, including Kit. To the scoreboard, a 1 appears in the bottom of the 8th for Racine. Dissolve to exterior of the ballpark a few minutes later. The Rockford team is coming off the field. There's a lot of chatter. Let's get it back, last ups, girls, etc. Jimmy confronts Evelyn as she enters the dugout. He's burning. Evelyn is very frightened. Everyone is silent, waiting for Jimmy's explosion.
Evelyn?
She leans away from him, terrified.
You're still hurrying that throw. That's something I'd like to work on before next season.
Yes, Jimmy.
Good.
He walks away from her. He blows air out. He's exhausted by the effort it took to restrain himself.
Come on. We need a run. May, get something started. Something on the field, I mean.
In rapid cuts, we see May get a hit, then Doris follow with a hit, moving Faye to second. We see Evelyn lay down a bunt, advancing them to second and third. We see the next batter pop out. Angle on the deck circle. Dottie gets up and heads for the plate with her bat. Angle on the Racine dugout. Charlie, the manager, jumps out.
Time.
We follow him out to the mound where he meets with Kit and the Racine catcher.
Your sister's up.
I recognize her.
Charlie chuckles.
Why don't you put her on?
Huh?
Intentional walk.
Makes sense. She's awful tough.
I'm gonna get her out.
Charlie and the catcher look at each other. The catcher shrugs.
Okay. Go get her.
Thanks, the guy from Twin Peaks.
He and the catcher leave. We angle on home plate. The catcher settles down. Dottie takes her stance. Kit whines and delivers. Dottie swings and hits a screaming line drive near Kit's head. Kit's low bridge diving into the dirt as a ball sails over the second for a clean single. May and Doris both score. Angle on the Rockford dugout. They're jumping up and down.
That's my girl.
Angle on the stands. Bob is applauding wildly.
That's my wife.
We angle on Ira with the businessmen. They stir a little, and Ira applauds heavily. He senses a little more life among his customers. We angle on Kit. She could eat her fucking glove. Angle on Dottie standing on first base. She looks impassive. She doesn't look at Kit to rub it in. She doesn't smile. She's all concentration, all ball player. We angle on the field. The next batter flies out. Angle to Kit. We follow her off the mound. She reaches the dugout and sags onto the bench. She buries her face in her hands. Her teammates and manager pat her on the back. She's inconsolable. Go back to the scoreboard where a 2 appears on the top of the ninth. Angle on the field. Dottie takes her position behind the plate. She glances briefly at Kit in the dugout and sees her slumped over. She gets down in her crouch and receives warm-up throws. The first Racine batter steps up. She hits the first pitch in the air. May comes in and makes a good catch. Angle on the Rockford dugout. They're ecstatic. Back to the field. The next Racine batter lines a single, and the Racine dugout comes to life. We go back to the field, and the next Racine batter hits a high twisting foul pop up. Dottie flings away her mask and chases it furiously down the Rockford dugout. She slides, catches the ball as she crashes down into the dugout. Angle on the umpire.
You're out.
Jimmy helps Dottie onto the field. She's all right. She runs back to her position.
One more, Shirley. Dirt in the skirt.
The crowd is screaming. Angle on Ira and the businessmen. A couple of them are up on their feet now, applauding. They elbow each other and seem very impressed. Ira's beginning to feel good about things. Angle on the Racine on-deck circle. Kit is coming up to bat. Go to Dottie. She glances over at Kit.
Time.
Dottie goes to the mound.
High fastballs. She can't hit them and she can't lay off them.
Shirley, very tired, nods. We follow Dottie back to the home plate. She passes Kit and they say nothing. Dottie gets down and signals. Shirley pitches. A high fastball. Kit swings hard and misses. She sets herself back in. Shirley pitches a high fastball. Kit swings hard and misses again. Angle on the Racine dugout.
Kit, lay off that pitch. It's too high.
Angle on the field. Kit sets herself back in. Shirley pitches a high fastball. Kit swings and blasts the ball deep to the outfield. The crowd screams. Everyone in both dugouts leans out to see. Dottie rips off her mask, revealing a stunned expression. The ball sails way over the outfielder's head and rolls to the fence. Angle on the stands. People are going nuts. Ira's group of businessmen are screaming their heads off. And we go back to the field. The Racine runner who is on base races home. She scores easily. The ball is thrown back into the infield, and Kit's rounding third base. The Racine third base coach has his arms up in a stop sign.
Hold up! Hold up!
Kit barrels around third and doesn't slow down at all. The coach, hysterical, almost reaches out to grab her, and she blows right by him. We angle on the plate. Dottie flings away her masks and sets herself for the play. Angle on the Rockford dugout. Jimmy is watching intently. Go back to home plate, and Dottie is set as the ball is fired in. She grabs it just before Kit arrives. She turns to meet Kit, who lowers her shoulder and crashes into Dottie violently, and both girls go flying. Kit's tumbling onto home plate. Dottie goes reeling backward, flipping over. The crowd goes silent. Angle on Dottie's hands. Her bare hand holding the ball separates from her glove band. As Dottie lands on her back, the bare hand strikes the ground. After a brief moment, the baseball leaks gently out of Dottie's hands onto the grass. Angle onto the umpire.
Safe.
The crowd erupts. Bedlam. Kit's teammates race out and lift her up. She's groggy. They lift her up onto their shoulders. She looks back at Dottie, and Dottie is helped up by Jimmy. She's a little shaken, but she's okay. She nods. She watches Kit being carried off. The crowd begins to chant, Kit, Kit, Kit. Angle on the crowd. Ira's businessmen are going nuts. They've just seen a game that's thrilled them. They're congratulating Ira. We angle on the scoreboard. A 2 goes up in the bottom of the ninth, and the final score is posted 3-2 Racing. Angle on the field. Dottie watches Kit being carried off in triumph. An hour later, outside the parking lot, we see the Rockford team bus. The girls are getting on. Dottie appears. Bob is there waiting for her and gives her a kiss on the head.
You okay?
She nods.
Boy, you are some player.
He smiles.
Want a lift?
I want to ride back with the girls. I'll meet you at the hotel.
Jimmy passes.
Jimmy Dugan! I'm a big fan of yours.
Oh, yeah?
I'm Dottie's husband.
Well, then I'm a big fan of yours.
Good luck in Wichita.
Wichita? Nah, it's right near Leavenworth. I don't want to be that close to my parents.
You turned down the job?
I got a job.
Jimmy gets on the bus.
I'm sorry you lost.
I'm glad you were here.
See ya.
Bob leaves, and Dottie turns to get on the bus.
Dottie,
Dottie stops. Kit trots up to her. They stand facing each other for a moment. They don't speak. Then,
did you drop the ball on purpose?
Who, me? You know I'd do anything to win.
Yeah, but you never dropped the ball.
You just beat me. You wanted it more than I did.
Yeah? I don't know.
there's another awkward pause.
Lowenstein says we're coming back next year. More teams, spring training in Cuba. Says this game put us over.
That's great.
You're coming back next year, aren't you?
We want to have kids.
You'll be back. You can't stay away.
Dottie smiles.
I'm coming back.
You should. You're great. You coming home for the season?
Well, some of the girls are talking about staying around looking for jobs or something. I like it here.
Christmas?
No, I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Well,
They nod at each other.
quite a year, huh?
Dottie nods. They hug briefly, and Kit starts to walk away.
Kit,
Kit stops.
I really didn't get you traded. I swear.
Yeah, I know.
I'm sorry you don't like me.
Kit is startled. She looks stricken. She doesn't know what to say.
I do. Look, I'm just nuts.
They both almost laugh.
But, someday I'll figure it all out and we'll be buddies. You'll see.
I'm just scared we're going to drift away. I'm worried we're not going to be as close as sisters should be.
You never know.
Yeah, I guess you never know.
Thanks for getting me in the league.
Dottie nods and Kit walks away. We cut to the outside of the baseball field at the present. It's a little field in a small town. We open on the flight of a ball pitched toward home plate. We see a bat swing and hit it. We then follow the ball as it bounces across the infield. We see the ball fielded and reveal that it's been fielded by a woman in her late 60s. She throws to first, retiring, a heavy woman at the same age. We see that all the players are women between 60 and 75. The women whoop and cheer over the play.
Way to go, Marla.
Angle on the woman who fielded the ball. She's an attractive, graceful woman. We then follow the base runner who's huffing and puffing back to her teammates.
Doris, for the last 45 years, have you done anything but eat?
Laughs all around. Up at the plate, a woman raps out a hit. Cheers. Angle on a one-armed man about 70. He bangs his hand on a bench to applaud.
Way to go, honey.
Angle on the ladies. They're cheering and having fun. May's drinking beer from a can. Doris taps her on the arm, then points. And May looks over, as do some of the others. We angle on Dottie. She stands there holding her suitcase, a little ill at ease.
Dottie?
May fires a ball at Dottie, who snap catches it one-handed.
Hey, Doris.
It's Dottie.
May. All the way, May.
May nods.
No one's called me that since.
Last night.
May laughs. Doris goes over and hugs Dottie. So do a couple of the others. There are some tears. The other team comes in from their positions in the field to join the reunion.
Who's that?
Dottie Henson, best damn player in the league.
I don't remember her. She
She
only played one year.
That was my fault.
Hey, guess who this is?
A 50-ish looking man steps forward.
Hey, Dottie.
Dottie looks at him blankly.
I'm Evelyn Gardner's son, remember? Stillwell.
Stillwell, Angel? My goodness. Where's your mom?
Oh, Mom died a couple years ago.
I'm sorry. She was a real nice lady and a damn fine first baseman.
Yeah. When I heard about this, well, I just felt I owed it to her to be here. She said it was the best year of her life.
We see the women, smiling, agreeing. Marla approaches Dottie, and Marla's eyes are very wet.
Marla?
Marla nods and they embrace.
How's,
Nelson?
yes.
Good. He's retired, but our son runs the farm now.
Oh, is that the same?
Same son, the one you flipped over at second base.
I still feel bad about that.
And I'm not going to comfort you. How's
Yeah, fuck
Bob?
you.
Well, karma, because, he's,
Oh, when?
just this winter.
I'm also not going to comfort you there. Did Kate come with you?
Fucks us up, girl. That's part of the
Right.
life we live now. Yeah, where's the Oregon rifle?
Is it true? We heard you married some real rich guy and had like 100 kids.
Is she with you?
I don't really, Kit and I aren't that close.
The others glance at each other knowingly. Dottie is embarrassed.
See, we stayed in Rockford and we wrote sometimes, and Christmas we used to exchange, but we're not.
Well, let's just play some ball and ignore your feelings.
We'll just ignore the fact that you're a terrible person who only puts in the effort that someone puts into you, and then you give them nothing.
Or
Fair enough.
I mean, where's the food?
I'm an asshole. Dirt in the skirt.
The others repeat dirt in the skirt and happily resume their game, ignoring all of the issues we've previously brought up. We open to the exterior of a small town at the present. It's a bright, sunny, beautiful afternoon. We see dozens of women in their 60s moving along the street. They're chattering happily. We see all the ladies we've seen in the previous scenes, but in the present. The women get to an area that's quite crowded with mostly touristy-looking folks. The ladies' excitement is growing. They look up, angle on the ladies as they head up the stairs. We see in one section of the group Dottie, Marla, May, and Doris, and suddenly Marla stops. She leaves the group and approaches an elderly man among the onlookers. Angle on Marla and the man.
Mr. Capadino?
Ah,
Mr. Capadino, it's me, Marla Hooch. Remember?
Of course I remember. I remember you. Marla Hooch, right?
That's right.
See?
Did you come for this?
For this, no, I'm scouting. There's a kid in Syracuse, second baseman. I'm on my way.
Hey, as long as you're here, why don't you come in with us?
No, I don't know. Sure, fine, why not? Okay. But I'm going to smoke. Cigars, big cigars.
She takes his arm and they go up the steps. Inside the Hall of Fame, we pan the showcases, catching glimpses of photos, artifacts, memorabilia. After photos of Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, etc., we stop at a photo of a young Jimmy at the peak of his career. Angle on Dottie. She's looking at the picture in the showcase. Doris grabs her.
Come on, they're doing it.
The crowd presses toward a showcase with a curtain over it. An official of the museum reaches up and removes the curtain. High in the showcase is a sign. All-American Girls Baseball League, 1943 to 1954. The crowd cheers. Angle on the ladies. They smile, cry, and hug each other. Angle on Cappy. He fights back a sniffle. Toward the back of the group, a woman with thick glasses peers at the showcase.
Shirley, what's it say?
All-American Girls Baseball League, 1943 to 1954.
Angle on the showcase. We see lots of photos commemorating the league. We hear the ladies begin to sing the All-American Girls Baseball League song. It's a sentimental rendition as they do push in on photos of the team with captions under them indicating the team and the year. We keep pushing in on a photo captioned Rockford, 1944. Continuing till we see Dottie and Kit side by side in the picture, smiling. Angle on Dottie. She's staring at the picture and looking wistful. The ladies continue to sing. Dottie glances off and her expression changes. She catches her breath. Angle on Kit. On the other side of the showcase, just joining the crowd is Kit, now in her early 60s. She's with a very large family, a husband, grown children, and young grandchildren. She looks over and sees Dottie. Dottie stares at Kit, very emotional. We look to Kit, and we look to the picture in the showcase. And then we look to Kit looking at the picture. She looks back over at Dottie. We angle on the crowd, still singing. Kit and Dottie walk toward each other. They're both crying and they reach each other and embrace. And we fade out till the end.
Woohoo! We did it, y'all. And that's exactly what the end there. I felt the same way. Sorry, we have a chat that we have on. Well, that's why we're always laughing at each other. But yes, I looked at him and he looked at me.
I was thinking the exact same
And
thing.
we all looked at the picture and the picture looked at us.
Yeah. It's just too perfect.
And then the picture blinked and we all disappeared.
Right, Harry Potter shit or something. I don't know. Anyway,
Shining, but yeah.
We've made it. I'd like to thank everybody. Whoever edited out like 75 pages of the narration for me. I'm assuming that was Kelsey, and I appreciate. Somebody did it.
I saw someone delete things and I couldn't.
Yeah, because there was like a whole.
Who was actively deleting things? Ginger, was that you?
I only deleted like one little part, but I know there was like a whole angle about how Paul kept getting pulled into people's hotel rooms. That was left
It's
out.
unnecessary.
Yeah, it was unnecessary.
To it.
Yeah.
And also like diseases.
You're right.
This is definitely one where I think the finished product was better than the script.
Right, absolutely.
Someone took a few passes at this and it was for the better.
Yeah, I think whoever wrote it this way, like gave it to somebody and that person was like, how about we make something people will like?
Right.
How about we let Tom Hanks be at least a little bit likable?
Redeemable.
Yeah.
Of some
I mean,
sort.
is he ever bad? I don't think he ever is bad.
Also, Dottie sucked in the script.
Yeah.
She almost murdered a baby.
I know, right? They just
Yeah.
left it out.
Like, I was attacked at the end, but honestly, like I'm reading this, I'm like, I'm a piece of shit a little bit. A little bit of a piece of shit. I don't
And
Those are
it's
very-
not even a case of like you understand the baggage behind it. You don't get any backstory. Like you see that the dad like pretends not to like anything. Like I can't, which like, I mean, who doesn't have a parent that shows absolutely no approval? I mean,
Right.
I legitimately was just I think that casting for this one was so fucking amazing.
It really was.
Like I've seen Kelsey do singular roles that she's been perfect for, but I've never seen her switch between so many roles that she was perfect for in the same night.
banana cuckoos. And I tried to do voices, but I was like, this is too much. It was just, you should have seen me running
It's like
around my house
Eddie Murphy movie.
to be like, and I was texting Ginger, so it would be handy when I was gathering things, because I didn't want to get lost in a Facebook chat trying to find like all the things. I was like, okay, the kid's gonna be at first the kid was gonna wear a baseball hat because we have a mini bat from the Louisville Slugger Museum, and I was gonna try to, always have the bat for Doris. But I was like, I don't know where it is. It's somewhere in this house. It's in probably the 3 boxes we haven't unpacked yet.
Right.
But luckily I have this because I fill it's squishy. I fill little jars with stuff every month because I like my trinkets. And then I love tiny ass hats. So
Loved it.
I almost made a cigar out of construction paper, which I have done before when my friend was Groucho Marx. But I was just like, I don't have it in me. And then, yeah, this is my childhood mitt. And you can see, yay! This is where I've
That's
written
so
my
cool.
name. And this is where my brother wrote his name.
Aw.
So this is the mitt that my tiny little hands used.
Aw.
They never grew.
Well,
I have mine, but mine's a little bit bigger.
That's what she said.
She said that a lot.
She said a lot of things. Small but mighty is my game.
well, speaking of casting, I want to once again go through our wonderful, amazing cast and our wonderful narrator, Mrs. Kelsey Davis, as all of the awesome people, Doris and Cappy and all of those things. Loved it. We had Sean Watson as May and Evelyn talking right behind each other all the fucking time.
Good. 2 pairs of glasses does the magic.
It was
Easy
perfect.
peasy.
We have Luke Seckington as the amazing PA announcer and Kit Keller and all the things. Loved it.
The
That
casting
translated
again.
Loved it. Yeah. We have Patrick McMahon as the not likable Jimmy Dugan.
Jimmy Douchkin.
Hey.
Yeah, when
More like
I was
Jimmy
writing it,
Dogan.
I was like, we got to that Jimmy kissing scene and I went, no, I don't like it. We had Kenna Yelson as Dottie Henson and Shirley Baker, Anna Scalper, taking the lead and other roles on top of it. Great job. We had introducing Nick Benioff, their first time with us. I hope they come back. I hope they had fun today.
Great job.
Great Ira Lowenstein.
Ah, lovely.
We had Dan Cook as the Walter Harvey, and all of the other men folk around. I liked putting Steve and Kit. I thought that was funny having you two play that. That was like great. And of course, we had Danny Wilson as our fearless narrator. I hope you were very hydrated.
Hydrated is a word.
Right. I'm Ginger Chase. I was Marla Hooch and all of that stuff. But we're through for the night. I hope you have enjoyed. I hope you have donated if you can. I'm sure we'll be back at some point. We just don't have anything scheduled quite yet, but we'll figure it out. And have a great rest of your night, everybody.
Have a good night, everyone.
Bye, pals.